Alright folks, let's get started here. Let's make sure we're good across the board. Got everything set up. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, let's do this. Yes, that's good. Let's get the chat up here. Alright, cool. Let's we're gonna finish this piece real quick that we were working on the other night. And then we're going to transition into, I think, some character design. Let me pull this up. We might do another scene. I'm not really sure yet. We're going to sort of play around with this, I think, finish it up, and see how it goes from there. So let's do this. Alright, cool. Let's get in here. So this is going to be like a floating obelisk. And I like the idea of these, but I don't like the execution. So I think we're going to delete them, and I think we're going to redo that entire process. I think I want to do it sort of a smoke look. Well, actually, you know what? Let's take these down to an opacity. Let's give them about a 60%. See if maybe we like that a bit better. That might be a better call.
Welcome, everyone.
Hey, Rob. What's up, buddy? Thank you for the host, sir. How are you, man? Oh, it's a raid. Hold on a sec. Let me get a raid out. Let me get my raid screen out. 1 second. Hey, guys. One sec. Here we go.
We got a new follower. It's a raid.
Hello, folks. Thank you for the raid, Rob. How's everybody doing? We're just getting started this morning. Thank you for the raid. How's everybody doing? Thank you for the host. Thank you for the follows. So guys, if you're coming over with the raid, my name is Jeremiah. I do vector art, pixel art, animation, things like that. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I really do appreciate that. Rob, you're awesome. Thank you.
We got a host. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you for the host and the follows, guys. You're incredible. Thank you. We do a creative stream here, a little bit different. You can see my little slideshow here next to me, and you'll see a whole bunch of different stuff. You'll see all kinds of things here. Thank you guys so much. Eric, Band-Aid, thank you for the host. Thank you for the follows. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
We got a host.
Rob, that's too
Welcome,
kind.
everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the sparks. Thank you, guys. You're incredible. Thank you. That's a way to start a morning right there. We just went live, so that's awesome. Thank you. How's everybody doing today?
Welcome, everyone.
Thank you for the follows, guys. A little bit different pace here, but I think you'll like it. Alright, so let's mess with... Thank you for the sparks. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you'll see a little... We do a lot of different things here. We do characters, we do scenes, we do a lot of different things. You'll see a lot of different variations of things like this.
Everyone.
This is kind of where we're going with the current piece. We're moving into this sort of science fiction, sort of sci-fi looking piece. We're getting there. Thank you for the host. Hey, John, how are you, buddy? Good to see everybody. Whiffer, thank you for the follow. Thank you for all the follows. Lucid, thank you. Thank everybody. Got a little crazy there for a second, but thank you guys so much. And Rob, thank you for being awesome. I appreciate that support over here.
We got a new follower.
Thank you, everybody. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're sort of doing a fantasy-inspired piece. Rob, thank you, dude. You're awesome, man. I can't thank you enough for that support. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Alright, let's go here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this...
We got a new follower.
Look at all those follow alerts. Alright, we're going to do this out a bit more like it. And other thing is, guys, if you have any questions for anybody who's new here, if you guys have any questions for me, be sure to ask. I welcome questions here. If you're curious about the softwares I'm using or the techniques that I'm doing, I'm glad to share any information I can. So if you guys, just want to know more about this, feel free to ask. Double Draft, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, we do a very sort of teachy stream where I help people learn this stuff. So we have a list of free softwares that we utilize. We have a list of paid softwares we utilize. So we like to sort of point people in the right direction if we can. So if I can help you with that, be sure to let me know.
We got a new
All done. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, Devil. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all that, guys. I really, really do. It means a lot. Us creative streamers, it's a little bit slower on the upgrowth, but we appreciate that support. Absolutely. Thank you. All right, so we got the tree. Let's work on the... Again, I like the idea of the smoke, but I don't like the implementation. So let's get rid of this, and we'll redo this whole process.
Welcome, everyone.
It's Ranger. Thank you for the host. Appreciate it, guys. Guys and gals, thank you so much. So we're going to go here. We're going to reduce this in a bit. So are there any creative folks in here? Anyone who likes making art? Anyone who's interested in making art? Let's go right here, and we're going to do sort of a centerpiece here. And I think what we'll do is we'll probably take this centerpiece and do like some sort of a like a glow or something in there. Because I want to, my goal is to sort of make this look like an obelisk, like a glowing magic obelisk, and then we'll kind of give it a floaty, sort of a floaty smoke effect underneath. I think it'll look pretty cool when we get it all said and done. So let's go here. Let's play with making some smoke sort of in here. And what we'll do is we'll go with the white, and then we can always change those colors up. And you can see what I'm doing here, just sort of using the pencil tool to make this effect like this. And then of course we can close this, which then allows us to manipulate these points like this. So we can create sort of like a smoke cloud look effect. And of course we can do this in any shape we want, but I don't know, I like the idea. Like I said, I'm just not sure it's where or how I want to use it, but let's manipulate this like this. Then what we'll do is we'll take this guy, we'll round it, nice. And we'll just kind of go like this. And then here we can line up these points directly on the side like this. That way it looks complete. See that? Oh, very nice, TFM. What kind of art do you do? Is it, I'm assuming traditional? Do you do like watercolors, oils? What are you doing for your medium? I don't do a whole lot of traditional stuff anymore, but I still do enjoy it. I do more digital art than anything at this point. And thank you for the host, buddy.
Welcome, everyone.
Appreciate it, folks. What a crazy start to a morning. I had literally just gone live, guys, so I appreciate that support. Definitely do. I think we'll kind of stick this in here. And then we'll play with kind of making this look a little bit, I want to make it look sort of floaty and whimsical in a way. Thinking sort of like this. Let's play around with it. Maybe we'll come out the side over here. Oh, very nice. So when I did traditional, I used to do watercolor with my favorite medium, my absolute favorite medium. And I don't do it that much anymore, but I still love it. I love to look at it. Hink wink. I've never had a touch for it, but I love it. I love seeing it. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a fun process. I do it for several things. I'm freelance, so I do a lot of commission-based stuff, and then a lot of this art is just for my own personal just enjoyment. You know, I love doing things. I'm currently working on a couple of like webcomics. I'm also working on some children's books and things like that. And I love just being creative and being able to share it with other people and hopefully inspire other people and just have fun with it, you know? Well, thank you, buddy. Yeah. You know, the thing with art is, it's really, I'll show you guys something really cool. Now, I don't mind pulling this up because this is something fascinating. So, when I started with vector art, which is what this kind of art is, this was me 2 years ago. Now, this wasn't a full-on serious attempt, but this was me sort of just learning how to use vector art, right? And so you can sort of see the growth in where it's gone in just the 2 years' time. And it's okay to look back and see where you started and what it looked like. And of course, anytime you start with a medium, whether it's traditional, digital, whatever the case may be, you're always going to have that learning curve, you know? And so that was sort of what this is an example of where you can go in just a couple of years of doing this, you know, pretty consistently. And then of course on the stream, we also do animation.
How you doing, Mr. Seven?
Like this. We create animation for like mods and people who are big supporters. I've got little different animations that run, and we animate in here in a software called Moho. I'll show you guys what this looks like. It allows me to take the flat 2D art that I make, and it allows me to animate it into like a 3D scope or 3D space, right? And so, even though it has a flat face, we actually animate it into 3D. And we can do a lot of cool stuff with that. We can do like flat character animations. We can do three-dimensional, like traditional animations and things like that. It's good fun. We do a lot of things here on the channel. It sort of depends on the mood and where we're at and what we're doing. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing, is that, so, I mean, it's like anything in life, right? If you really want to get better at something, you just got to apply yourself. And it's like anything, you know, if you want to be a better athlete, you want to be a better writer, you want to be a better cook, whatever that is, you just have to sort of attack it and just go at it, you know, and keep doing it and just find a reason to do it. And, you know, find inspiration in everything. You know, and we've done this before as an example, and I'll show you what I mean. People will say, like, well, I can't find inspiration. And it's like, well, look around your room. You know, pick up your phone. Draw your phone. Pick up anything. Pick up a bottle. Draw that. Pick up, you know, whatever you have handy and just do it. You know, because I think a lot of people, they suffer from that, I can't find that inspiration. And it's like, you absolutely can. And, you know, you just have to look around, find something and do it. And there are days where even myself, I'm not as creative as I would like to be. And you just have to sort of force yourself through that and push out the other side, you know? Yeah, Annie draws on his phone. So, I mean, you know, it's one of those things. So thank you, I'm happy to be here. Well, good. I appreciate that. It's always nice to get that support. Find channels to draw. Yeah, like, so TFM, like, I'm all about answering questions. Anybody that's a regular here will help you understand that. Like, if somebody comes in here and they say, hey, how do I do this? Like, I have people that say, okay, we'll do a real quick one real quick. I'll have people that come in and say, hey, how can I draw a flat vector face? Well, let's do it real quick. So this would be your traditional flat vector art. And what I'll do is I'll just sort of explain it to people. So let's make one real fast so you guys can get an example of what I'm sort of going for here, okay? So this would be what you would consider traditional flat art. And, you know, of course you can rotate it, you can move it around, but you'll see real quick how something like this can come together and how quickly you can take just a couple shapes and we can turn it into a face. And then of course we can do, you know, emotions, we can do different styles on this. It doesn't necessarily have to be just, you know, one style of face. Like, you can do a lot of really cool stuff with this. And you can already see where this character is starting to come to life, right? So then we would come in and you can play with this. You can do little round eyes. You know, I've done elongated eyes, sort of like this. And you'll see this sort of advertising is very, very popular in, well, this sort of art is very popular in like advertising and things like that, right? And you can start to get a sense of how to do it. But I'm all for teaching people, you know, how to do this stuff and like the best ways to do it and different things like that. Because I think it's great to be able to help inspire and teach other people to, you know, begin getting creative if they want to be. You know? Right. Yeah, thanks, Annie. Yeah, and it's good fun, you know? And you can just sort of go all over the place from here. I mean, you can, you know, you can work with shading under the eyes. You can then come in, let's say we want a little nose, right? You come in here, chop this off. And it also leans heavily into the art form that I'm doing. Like, I'm doing a vector art, right? So then we would group this, and here you go. We now have an asset. So then we can do all kinds of stuff with that asset. We can animate it. We can keep drawing with it, whatever the case is. Like, it was nothing. But here's the trick with that, though, Guns. That's sort of what I was talking about. Is just keep drawing, keep going, right? And the thing is, eventually you get to the point where it just sort of becomes second nature. You can do it while you're streaming, while you're just chilling, whatever the case is. And, you know, for me, I draw literally probably a good 3 to 4 hours a day. I draw. You know, if I've got downtime or if I'm sitting at work with nothing to do, I draw. Or if I'm home and chilling, everybody's in bed, I draw. You know, I have replaced a lot of my downtime with creating art, which is essentially, you know, what it becomes. Right. Yeah, and that's the thing.
We got a host.
And,
Welcome,
you know,
everyone.
I love being able to inspire people and hopefully get other people incentivized and get them drawing and you know, and get them going. And so if anyone is
Thank you for
curious,
the lemon.
I'll throw this up real quick. I do have social. So if you guys are interested
Thank
in
you for
following me
the
on Twitter and
lemon.
Instagram, I post all my art there. Hey, Elder, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the
Thank you
lemon.
for the lemon. We got a host. Welcome, everyone.
On YouTube, I also post
Thank you
like
for the lemon.
tutorials. I post video editing tutorials, flat art tutorials, all that
Thank
stuff.
you for the lemon.
So if you guys are interested in that, follow me there. If you're interested in the softwares I'm using, this is called Affinity Designer. I use the Affinity lines of softwares. And then if you're interested in free software, just to test this style of art out, right there's a link for some free softwares. And those will sort of get you in the door and sort of help you begin to start it, you know, working on those processes. And again, if you have any questions on any of that, just feel free to ask. Thank you, TFM. I appreciate that. How you doing this morning, Elder? Good to see you, buddy. We're just doing some art this morning, man. Hanging out, having a
We
good
got
time.
a new follower.
Just in time. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Trying to get through the workday. Right on, man. Right on. I understand that. I'm off on Mondays. I usually do like a daytime stream during Mondays or on Mondays because I don't work Mondays at all. So that's the only day that I stream during this time. Normally I stream in the evening. But yeah. We're just we're getting going here. We're going to see if we can't finish up this little scene piece right here. And then I think we're going to move in. I've been working on a couple things. I've been working on a new comic, like a web comic, and I've been working on some kids books. So we might jump in one of those and you guys can kind of see how to make a book or what that process entails. If that's something you guys want to see. Or we could just do like random character creation stuff. Keep getting compliments on the stinger, dude. That thing turned out really good. I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure how I was going to be able to do that, but the idea clicked and it just worked, man. Dennis, hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a good fun. Like I love streaming art. It's a little different, you know, than the gameplay stuff, and I have a lot of people like Elder that I watch play games, and I love watching them play games. You know, but I just prefer art stream personally when I stream. I feel weird when I stream games. Alright, let's do, and then we'll do sort of a wisp here. Let's experiment with this, and then what we'll do is we'll combine all those. Do like a long wisp. Yeah, I think that'll look cool. I'm back. Right, TFM. Yeah, it's good fun though. But I also encourage people, like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free. And I mean that. I welcome all sorts of input. So you guys don't bother me. I get questions all the time on how do I do this, how do I do that, how do I shade. And it's, you know, we do our best to try to help people here. Different is good. Right, and that's the thing, Tank. It's and you can learn this. I mean, so like, let me give you an example. This software is one of the ones I linked that's free. And the great part about this software is they do have a paid version, but the free version is very, very capable. And what's cool about this is you can do the same art I'm doing right now, and you can do it for free, right? And so like, let's take this little pirate guy. I made this in free software. So you could download this software which runs on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and you could start making vector art today for free. So I was pretty new to Affinity, but I got a chance to do a nice design for my daughter and some. Still got to learn it though. Right. Well, if you have any questions, Dennis, let me know. Like I do a lot of helpful information on, so glad to help. Whisper. I was recommended a few programs. I have with Adobe. So I will say this. Let me start with this. I'm not gonna bash any specific softwares because I don't really, you know, I believe there's a lot of people that use Adobe and they love Adobe, and that is perfectly fine. I prefer to use Affinity because I think that they are equally good products. I think they're very powerful, and I think that they have a very rich feature set for a fraction of the cost. You can buy Affinity Designer for $50. You own it. There's no sub fees. You don't have to pay anything else. You just own it, right? So $50 for a piece of software that will do this is amazing. That's super cheap. You know what I mean? And so, now what I would recommend is if you're serious about Affinity, is go try it out. They give you a 10-day free trial. You can jump in, you can learn all about it, you can use it, you can see what it's all about for no cost. And that's what I recommend people do. Try it out. See if it's your speed. If it's not, stay with Adobe. Stay with something else, there's a lot of different options out there. There's free softwares like Inkscape, there's Gravit Designer. I mean, there's all kinds of choices. I just prefer Affinity because I like the workflow and I like what it does for me, right? But yeah, Dennis, I don't know if you're, where you're at with Affinity, but like if you ever have any specific questions, like how to do certain things, absolutely, let me know. And that's really cheap, sweet. Like it is really cheap. And for anyone who's into creative software will know, that's cheap. In our country, that would be 2,500 pesos. I don't know what that breaks down. I don't know where that stacks against my currency, Annie. I mean, I don't know if that's like a ton for you or I don't know. For me, it's 50, which I understand 50 is still a lot of money. Not everyone can just throw that kind of money down, but and when you look at what this software can do, $50 is cheap. Very cheap. I think we'll go like this, and this would be really a cool style to use for like drawing. We might do that. A little while now. I'm trying to learn 2D art well enough to finish out a little 2D platformer. There you go. Yeah, Dennis. So that is a super really good thing to do with this. Like, and if you really get into the export persona, because I actually made some game art for a fun little project I was working on a friend with, and this software is absolutely fantastic for making game art. If that's what you're looking to do. It's really good for that. Overlord, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that support. Thank you very, very much. I'm glad that people enjoy watching the creative side of things. I really am. It always is a nice thing to see people get into it. And it's like anything in life, right? The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. I started with Inkscape doing SVGs for my wife's cricket machine. Yep. Moved over to Affinity. Yeah, $40. I mean, it's really a steal. I mean, I get people all the time, they're like, is it worth it? I'm like, well, honestly, not to sound, but $40 is very minimal when it comes to, for something as powerful as this is. I mean, it really, truly is. Oh, very nice. Yeah. And I believe it's a 10-day trial, so you can, try it out, you can use it, you can make a whole project with it. Absolutely. No, you're just fine, Dennis. Feel free to come in anytime and chat, and thank you for the kind words, and thank you for being here. I appreciate that. I'm just yeah, it's worth it. It really is. Like, it really is, and I can't stress that enough. It's well worth the money. I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't think so. And on my Discord, I'll throw that Discord link up here. If anyone is interested, you can reach out to me in my Discord. And that is the best place to get a hold of me when I'm not streaming. If you ever have a specific question or there's something you just want to see, feel free to reach out to me there. And you can, send me a message, or you can chat with the people that are in the Discord. We have a lot of people in there that are artists and they're creative, and people just sort of getting going with art. And we have people of all different levels. The other thing we're going to be doing here very soon, and Dennis, if you're still watching, you might be interested in this as well. We were doing a weekly drawing challenge. And when I say challenge, it's not a win-lose thing. It's essentially just a creative promotional challenge is all it is. We do a word a week, and we draw something based off a word, and it's open to all skill levels, all types. There's no judgment. It's for any medium. It can be traditional, digital, doesn't matter what it is. And it's just a way to get people inspired and to get some feedback on art and just give you a way to keep processing, right? Because I think a lot of people, they suffer with like, they just suffer with coming up with ideas and, you know, what do I draw and that kind of stuff. So we're going to be getting that weekly challenge starting very soon again. And it's just a fun process because it sort of just gets people creating, you know, which is really the goal of it. All right. And we have some more animations to work on. I don't know if we'll be working on those today, but we do animate the process of creating animations. The only thing with animating is I can help teach it, but the problem with animating is it really depends on your skill level and the software you're using. So, hey, no worries, Dennis. I'm pretty old myself. You're all good, buddy. You're all good. We welcome all input. Like, think of it like this. My Discord is a very welcoming, open community. It's very chill. Like, it's just like the stream. We welcome people. There's no judgment. It's just for fun and getting people creating. That's really what it's all about. We're not there to, you know, put people down, and we like all kinds of art. And I moderate it, and my moderators here on Mixer help me moderate it as well. So it stays a very friendly environment. So don't worry about anything like that. As you can tell from the stream, it's just the way we kind of run things. We keep it very family friendly, very very chill. All right, let's go here. Let's do a little bit of opacity. I think we'll go with like 60. And then what we'll do, now we'll go 50. And then we'll do a couple other wisps, but that are even lighter. So we'll kind of come off of the back of this one. But are you mainly using a mouse? Yes. Everything I draw is with a mouse, Dennis. I do own a tablet, but I don't use it. I sketch with it every now and then. But everything is done with a mouse and keyboard. All my art you see is mouse and keyboard. Yeah, we good, dear. We do a lot of fun little animations. I'm actually working on, I've got a couple ideas. I'm working on some webcomic ideas because I'd like to, so for anyone who's new here, I'm trying to find a way to apply my skill into something like a project or something that is going to be more than just drawing characters and things like that. So I'm sort of toying with the idea of like webcomics or you know, an animated series or something like that I can actually create. And currently I have a couple kids books that I'm working on, and then I have a webcomic that I'm sort of testing the water on. And then I've also considered maybe doing like a small animated series on YouTube or something like that. So yeah, that's the really cool part, Dennis, is that people, you know, a lot of people, they sort of, they assume that, and again, that's where we try to break down those barriers here. I don't want people to think they've got to go out and buy a $300 drawing tablet and they've got to buy $500 software. I want people to realize that they can create art just from simple things like a mouse and some free software, you know, and that's really the important part of this, is to help people get motivated for as little as possible. It's going to be 10, 20. Oh, 20. We'll do a little bit of variance here. You do about 5 comics? Very nice. I've never truly finished one. So it's sort of a personal project, and I'm gonna see, you know, where it goes. And we're gonna do it and see how it turns out. I'm excited about it. Like, it's something that I've always wanted to kind of to tamper with, but it's something I've never truly sat down and said, okay, I'm gonna do this. So, and that snaps nice. That snaps. That way you can make it look perfect. That's good. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Because I really want to find something to do with my art. And it's not that I love streaming, but I want to find a way to, do, you know, just more in terms of like an actual product or something that really showcases my art and what it can do. That's kind of the goal. Alright, I want this one to go out, and this is going to be 20, this is going to be 20. So for this one, we'll just kind of bring it out like this. Actually, we'll go a little less. And I'm just sort of doodling here. This is, I guess you could call this my style of sketching, since I don't really sketch that much. Okay. And then if we select you and you, then we can actually modify the points together just like that and make them line up perfect. And that way it sort of almost has this, you know, look to it. So what we'll do is we'll break this up, and then we'll grab all of this together. Fantastic. Now we'll make this into an asset. Good. So I like the way that's looking. And then, of course, you could go really crazy with it. You could do different colors and things like that. But I sort of like where this is. I think we will go 30, though. I feel like that's just a little too vibrant. Yeah, that's perfect. That's looking really cool. Now, I want to do sort of a monolithic runic structure here. I want to see if we can maybe create like some runes or glowing runes or something inside of the monolith to see what that would look like. Because I like too much detail. See, and that's funny you bring that up, because I'm trying to find a way to do it so that, here's the thing, if I were going to do a webcomic, I'd want to try to release 2, maybe 3 a month. But I'm trying to find that good line between too much content and just enough content, right? That way it sort of, it has a good feel to it, it looks good, but it's not over detailed. Because if you're trying to do too much detail, it can really extend the project out, right? And just make everything longer. So I'm trying to find that sweet spot. Wife and kids pitched in and bought me a UG 19-inch graphics tab. Yep. Good amount. Awesome work, brother. Well, thank you. Yeah, it really, it's just that practice, you know? It's just that doing it, I do it a lot. If you ask my wife, I probably do it too much. But, you know, it's one of those things where I really enjoy it. So I put a lot of effort into it. And I think the thing I like having, Dennis, is I really like having that super fine control with a mouse. That I can really get in here and like this. And I can really pinpoint these little shapes like this, you know? And I can really do it just the way I want it to look. Yeah. Oh, you're good. Alright. Let's take you a little bit bigger, and I want to do a slight glow off the bottom of this. So what we'll do is we'll do sort of a mask glow, and I will show you exactly how this is going to work. We're going to come in here. We're going to go like this. We're going to use this as sort of the glow of the pylon or of the monolith. So what we'll do is we'll go like this. We'll give it a gradient. We'll swap this around like this. This one here, we'll just take this opacity down. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. It's sort of a multi-stage process. So let's go with 20. And then we'll go to this one and let's go with 60. That way the whole thing just sort of has this look, right? Now you're probably thinking, how am I going to do this? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to mask this so that it sort of goes onto the rocks, but in a way that looks natural. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So if you don't know what a mask is, a mask essentially allows you to create a shape over a shape to show through. I'll do a quick mask so you can sort of see it. And then what we'll do is we'll modify said mask to help it sort of showcase a bit more. So if we go like this, you're going to see just this basic shape, right? Well, if we mask it over that, you see what that just did? It basically shows through at the point of where it cut. So if we take this shape, you can see it right here. And if we turn that shape off, you see how it exposes through, right? A mask allows you to just sort of create this neat effect. And then we can come in here and we can do things like this. We can clean up these lines a little bit. And what we're doing is we're actually cleaning up the lines of the physical mask right now. We're not cleaning up the actual gradient. All we're doing is adjusting the mask lines, which is affecting the gradient lines. And where this gets interesting is you can then take this and you can create more. So like, for example, let's say we were to take this and drag it down in. You see how it cuts into that, right? Again, that's the point. We want it to sort of give us that control over where this coloring is going. And we'll do the same thing over here. We'll just kind of go like this and like this, drag it in right here. Because what I want to do is just sort of control what this light is doing, like it's sort of coming out from underneath the monolith. And then once we have it kind of where we want, then we'll play with the overall shape and design of it. So let's go down to this point here, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll have all this sort of under the monolith, sort of like this right here. Now, what we're doing, now there are other ways to do this, but this is the best controlled way I've found to sort of make this work. What we'll do now is we'll take this, we'll cut it, and we'll paste it in front of that. So now it goes behind the smoke and everything. And then what we can do is just sort of keep playing with it. Hey, Cybot, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, it works out really well. And the cool part is over time, right? You just begin to develop new techniques and styles that allow you to just create really interesting things. Because I get a lot of people that sort of ask, like, well, how do you learn to do these things? And honestly, it's just from the usage. You just gotta dig in deep and just make it happen, you know, and just learn. I'm doing really good. Just getting some stream in today, having some fun, meeting some new friends. Had a nice big raid this morning from Rob over on Mixer. It was fantastic. Really, really nice of him to do that. So then we'll move this transparency up, and you see what that's doing right there, right? It's sort of creating this almost ghostly effect underneath of that, where it sort of looks like it's hovering a bit. And then, of course, we can continue to come in here, and we can continue to shape this. Like, this is still on 60%. I'd say we go 40, and then we'll go to this bottom point, and I'd say we go to 10. Because we want it to look very ghostly and sort of luminous. All right, cool. So that's looking pretty good. Now, one other thing I would suggest is I don't like these hard edge lines on the side, right? But that's where we come in and give it like a Gaussian blur of maybe, let's say 0.2. We don't want to do a lot. See that? Just enough to give it this little bit of a glow factor right there on the edge. And what that does, it sort of softens it so it's not so hard. It's not so hard edge. And then we've just essentially created this entire piece. Now, if we go back and we turn off that mask, you can see what we started with, right? It was just a circle. But with the mask on, it has created that shape that form fits into exactly where we want the light to show. So that turned out really good. And of course, you can keep messing with this if you really want. You can come in here and keep adjusting these lines and stuff. And we could go over the rocks, so we could go, down in this. But I think we'll just leave it like this for now. Oh, hey, good to see you. Yeah, it's fun. This piece is taking a lot longer than normal, but I'm really liking where it's going. I'm liking the light we've got around the user here, or around this explorer, let's call him that, sort of coming up the colonnade here, rounding up. I think it looks really good. And we've got some textures and details on these rocks. I think we'll just kind of keep doing it like this. Cool. Let's do a little bit on this back rock, because I figure why not. Go right there with it. Take this color, cut it, and paste it in there. Fantastic. Now, we have, I don't know if you guys can see it, but these rocks in the front, they're sort of meant to give you a almost 3D perspective, and I hope that comes through. Like, I want them to sort of be that forced frontal perspective. That's why they're kind of blurred out a little bit. That's kind of the angle we're going for there. Looks pretty good, though. Now, we've got the moon. We've got a little bit of a glow going on there. And well, let's finish some details on this rock. Take two. Well, thank you, sweet. Yeah, it's I really do enjoy it, and I it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I enjoy sharing it, and I'm just glad that people enjoy it, And I think it's really neat because it's one of those that you can really just have fun with it, and and really just explore different things. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I started, when I started streaming, it was, my initial goal was always that I wanted to create an environment that was informative, helpful, and it was something that was going to be uplifting and supportive. That's the way I've always wanted my stream to be. Just sort of this creative, fun, supportive space that allows people to get involved or just enjoy the art or whatever the case may be. And that's the way it's going to be the entire time, because I enjoy that kind of vibe, that chilled down sort of just relaxing feel to it, Yeah, that's what I shoot for. Right. Thank you, Drunk. Yeah, it looks really cool. Like, we got this little detail here. Yeah, it's looking good. Alright, so let's copy this. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, it's different, and I get some people, it's not their speed, you know, and I totally get that. You know, it's not going to be for everybody. But I've always just wanted to sort of keep it this way, you know, because I like the way it is. And the other thing is I keep it very family friendly because I like being able to share it with people that want to share it with their kids. Because that's a big draw for me. Is my daughter.
Welcome, everyone.
My daughter loves watching my VODs back, and she loves sharing it with her friends. And she's only 8, so I keep things very family friendly, very calm, very chill to allow that kind of you know, functionality. Hey, Grim, thank you for the host. How are you? Thanks for coming back. Yeah, I think so, Guns. And you know, it's you know, it's different, but I love it. And this helps answer the question for people that, you know, a lot of people, I think they don't know if these kinds of streams are something people do, and they absolutely are. Absolutely are. You're working, alrighty. Well, thank you for the host. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate that. Game with the Gray, thank you for the follow. Thanks for the support. I appreciate you being here. Something else we're going to do here very, very soon is, I was talking about this last night, we are going to take a Bob Ross piece and we are going to attempt to recreate it live on stream. I think we're going to do that Wednesday night, this Wednesday coming. I think I'm going to look around at some Bob Ross stuff and we're going to try to vectorize it, so to speak. So we'll see how that goes, and see if I can do it, or at least do it well. And I think it'll be a good, fun learning process. I don't really know what the outcome's going to be, since I don't really shoot for realism. But I think it'll be a lot of fun just to kind of explore it and see what the outcome is. And it, you know, I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna practice it, I think, tomorrow night. Just kind of make a couple different things and just see what the outcome is. Yeah. I love watching Bob Ross. It's such a fun, creative way to just spend time, right? I love it. Okay, cool. This is looking pretty good. I think we're getting close to where this is probably wrapped up. I think what I'll do is I'll take this and hit it with about 80%, 60%. Yeah, I want that to be very faint. Yeah, I like that. Now, I just want to focus on the front of this stone. And I think what I will do is I think we will play around with potentially... And so for anyone that is curious, I don't sketch on a normal basis. So for me, what you see is live. Like, this is me literally just putting it down, right? So you'll see me delete a lot of things, and you'll see me sort of start new processes, and that's very normal for me. Very normal.
We got a host.
Slightly different hairstyles. right on, Guns, yeah. Air Raiders, buddy, what's up, man? Thank you for the host. How are you, sir? Good to see you, man. How are you? Let's experiment with a few details on these back rocks. I'm doing good, buddy. I'm doing really good. We're getting some art done and just hanging out and meeting some new folks. Is there a tool to pull the point handles, or is it something you do initially? Alright, so there's a couple ways to do that, Grim, and I will show you exactly what that looks like. So what I do is when I create the shapes, right? Let's say this is our shape right here. If you hit P, you're on the pencil tool. If you hit A, you're on the node tool. The node tool is how you pull the point, right? So you're going to be able to pull your points like this. You're going to be able to add points. You're going to be able to put in points. You're going to be able to round points and pull the Bezier handles, things like that, right? So your point tool or your node tool is going to be A. And that's really where the power of this comes in, and you're going to be able to do some really, really cool stuff, you know, and make some very interesting shapes. So yeah, you want to use that node tool, most certainly. Okay, I missed the curved part on top. Yeah, it's you know, it's sort of that learning process. How you doing today, Air Raiders? You working or something? What are you doing? I haven't streamed on a Monday in a while, though, so... game with Gray. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's sort of what we do here. For anyone that was curious, is like I'm all about kind of taking a minute and showing people. So if you guys like, how do I shade something, or how would you draw a hand, or you know, how did you draw that tree, or whatever, just hit me with those questions. And if I can't help you, we'll try our best to try and find a solution for you. All right, so we're going to take you and you, and we're going to combine them. Right. That way we can just do some small, subtle details back here. I was surprised to catch on. So I normally stream on Mondays, but my Mondays have been crazy busy, man, for like the last couple months. And so I just haven't been able to do it. So like next Monday I'll be working again. But I'm usually off on Mondays. So I try to get like that daytime stream and get a nice long stream. So that's why we're up today. But thank you for that host, man. I appreciate that a lot. So Air Raiders, if you guys don't know, he is a partner here on the platform. He is a game streamer. If you guys are interested in checking him out, very friendly guy, big supporter of what I do here. I've known Air Raiders for quite a while. Really nice guy. So if you guys like watching game streamers and stuff like that, I definitely recommend checking him out. You won't regret it. Alright, so now we'll go to the back. Of course, man. What time is it for me? So it is currently 11:48 a.m. So just about noon for me, drunk. I'm Eastern Standard Time, so I'm just about hitting noon. And most of my streams are usually in the evening. For those that are wondering, Mondays will be the best days for some people to catch me live.
We got a host.
But,
Welcome,
you know, it sort of
everyone.
goes either way. Hey, Drunk on Shadow, thank you for that host. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. 11:49 p.m. for you. Yeah, so you're the opposite of me, Annie. Yeah. Let's do some more small details. What do you guys think? I like the way these little rocks sort of stick up back here in the rear. I like that. Let's do a couple more. Let's play with this. Yes, they are. So everything, the VODs stay on, Grim. I don't know exactly how long. Does anyone know exactly how long the VODs stay? Air Raiders might know that. I know it's different for partners and for non-partners. I think it's like 2 weeks, roughly. Yeah, right, Annie. 14 days, so 2 weeks, yeah. I was going to say, I know it's something like that. Right, 14 days. Hey, Dragon, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? Guys, that's another friend of the stream here. If you guys are not following Dragon Slayer, I would. Really, really nice guy. Super supportive. Great streamer. Definitely worth your look. And thank you for that raid last night, Dragon. I really do appreciate that, man. That was very, very kind of you. We're currently in Tennessee. Right. Yeah. I'm doing good. We're just sort of messing with this here and getting some stuff done and meeting some new folks and having a good day. Been a really good day so far. It's been a great stream. Regardless of length, I put an 11-hour stream up and it's a 14, right? I don't know. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I'm liking these little subtle details here on some of the backscapes here. I think it's looking pretty cool. I think what we'll do is we'll come along here and we'll do sort of a longer one. We'll do one big piece, kind of like this. And you can see I'm just making random shapes right now. This is not like anything, I'm not following any sort of rules or guidelines. This is literally random shape, what you guys see. So if we look at that shape I just made, you can see it's a completely random shape. Now, when I combine these two together, you can see how it does that, right? What it does is when you combine them, it takes the color and the effects of the underlying layer. So then it almost looks like these little rocks or something sort of on that line right there. And of course, we can do them on any of these shapes here. I thought they'd limit larger files. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm out pretty quickly. Yeah, it does. Because, I mean, 14 days feels like a long time. It's really not. You can burn through 14 days pretty quick. Like, sometimes I'll go look for a VOD, and I'll be like, I know that wasn't... And I'll be like, yeah, that was over 14 days ago. It happens, but it's all right. So I have an idea. I want to try this, so bear with me a minute. We're going to copy this tree out. We're going to shrink it. I want to see something. what would this look like if we potentially moved this? May look terrible, but we'll find out. Because I'm toying with the idea, which is going to delete this real quick. I'm toying with the idea of making this monolith bigger. And having just it up here. And putting the tree into the background. You guys let me know what you think. Maybe the tree would need to be a lot smaller, I think. So it would be more like this. Say right about there. Looks alright. And we can undo this easily, so. Yeah, going like that, I think. I don't know, I kind of like the tree in the front more than I do in the back there. I think we'll just undo through that. I kind of like that tree. I don't know. I know the tree close by. That's what I'm thinking. I like that you can see the roots and everything in this tree. I think we'll leave that tree, but I think what we'll do for the sake of this is we'll do some more small trees in the background, but they'll be more like maybe stumps. Like maybe this is some sort of a wasteland or something. So here's what we'll do. We'll experiment. Since that rock is that large, obviously the tree isn't going to be this big, right? Well, I mean, I guess it could be because we're in a fantastical setting, but you get the point. Like, the tree needs to be kind of proportionate to the rock size. So let's say we go, I'd say roughly here in height. And then what we'll do is we'll adjust this. And this is where you guys will see the sculpting portion that I've talked about with vector art. We can kind of just sculpt things around and we can move points to make things look sort of more alive rather than like just a flat sort of rectangular shape like this. You can see how bending these points has sort of created this variance, right? And this is important to do if you want to make things look a little more organic rather than so rigid, which I do some things where I keep it very square, very symmetrical, and that is, you know, certainly a viable thing. It all depends on the look you're going for, really. And then what we'll do is, watch this. If we want to pull branches out of this, this is where the sculpting comes in. We essentially just take like this and just drag out. Now what you're going to see here is at first it's just that one shape, right? So this is where you can, again, you can just continue to add points and you can continue to make it into a tree. And then of course you could do like this and you could drag out this. Just have fun with it and just, you know, sculpt things. They're really, it's like I tell people, there's no right or wrong with this. You just do whatever feels right. And you can't really mess this up because it's really just these points that are manipulating and moving around. So, works out pretty well. Alright, cool. And then of course we can jump to the other side, do the same thing. We can make it bigger, smaller, whatever we want to do. And I think for this one, we'll just kind of, I think we'll turn it down maybe. Go. Give it a point here. Awesome. Do the same thing just sort of here. We give it a point. We'll just move some of this stuff in. As a top, we could do it. Yep, we could. And what we'll do is, check this out. We're also going to do some stuff like this. We just haven't done it yet. We're going to take this tool. So this is a really neat thing that I do. And this isn't, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I just want to show you guys. So we use the pencil tool to make some very organic vector shapes like this, you see? I don't just use the pencil tool to make like strokes or pencil lines. I actually use it to make some really, really neat sort of like custom shapes. So let's say we wanted to make a bush or something that, you know, sort of looked like a bush back here. We could do something like this, right? Now, I would probably do it a little cleaner than that, but it gives you an example of what you could do. And of course, if you want to do it like this, you can sort of draw it just like this. Do some small shapes. And then you could just fill it in and then group it all together. That's with the fill on, that is correct. Because what I do is I do no stroke, I do fill. And so I use it to create like custom shapes rather than use it like a pencil. Because a lot of people use it just like a pencil. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Dennis. Yeah, we'll watch this. Let's take this little bush we just drew. We'll just kind of put it here, right? Now, it looks different because it's sitting up, right? But watch what happens when we group it. See, it grabs the color and the effect of that background and just sort of gives this little bit of a variance there. And of course, it pops that forward, so we're just going to do something like this. And again, you know, I stress there's no right or wrongs with it. Yeah, I always use it like this because so if we turn the fill off and we give it a stroke, you're going to see it's a literal pencil, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's doing just pencil strokes, which are vector shapes in and themselves. So let's say we wanted to make something like this, right? You're going to see the vector points that we can bend, we can manipulate, we can do things with. But what I do is when I select the pencil tool, I click use fill and I turn off the stroke, which then allows you to do things like this and just do some really neat organic shapes, which you could do with the pen tool. It's not completely out of sight or out of range, but I find it's easier with the pencil tool because you just have a little more fluid motion with it. So even if I wanted to do something like this, you say, now you could do that with the pen tool, but of course it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So I hope that helps explain it. I think it does. We're going to go like this. We're going to move this up. So for this, we're going to do the same thing. I think we're going to sort of put it in an angle like this. And then what we're going to do is we'll just kind of sculpt this out and then we'll see where we like it. We may move it down into here or something. I don't know. Maybe in this range. And we'll just kind of keep sculpting it. Bring these out. That in. Cool. Yeah. I think this one's too long. We'll just do this. And again, you can see it just sort of takes shape, right? This is why I refer to this as almost like sculpting. I think a lot of people, they're kind of confused when I say that, but that's really what it is. You're just kind of sculpting shapes. You're not, I mean, I don't want to say you're not drawing because that's not accurate, but I mean, it's more like a clay, like you're given a lump of clay and you're sort of mold it into a specific shape, right? That's really what it boils down to. I'm going to sleep now, 12 a.m. Good night. Annie, have a great night. Good to see you. Hope you enjoyed your day off, and I will catch you later, buddy. Have a good one. Focus on first. I like to find little details in the art. Right, yeah. And so it's funny. I'll bring up another one we did. Now, this is going to be a little bit harder to see, but I built it specifically this way. Where is that one? Let me find it, sorry. Right here. Okay, so you see this one we did, right? This is very sort of stylized in the same way that we are right now, okay? But what's cool about this, because it's vector art, you can zoom way, 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 way in, and you can see some really neat little details. And you can kind of see, you know, if you start zooming in here, way in, you can see all the little subtle details, like the little glare in the windows, a little, look in here, look in this little piece on the tower here. We got this cauldron with this fire and this flame. We got these little shelves here with, like, I'm assuming books and vases and round things, who knows what, right? But you can sort of look at all those little intricate details that may not otherwise be visible. And then down here in the water, we did like these little bubble effects, sort of on the surface of the water and everything. Yeah, good fun. Good fun. It's neat when you can really put in those little small details and sort of see what comes out. I think what I'll do, I want to make this more narrow as we progress up. I think we'll just kind of go like this. Move these back. Perfect. And I think we're going to go ahead and group this. And then we'll just modify that as we want to. So when I post on social media, everything's in PNG format. Everything. Because I use a lot of transparencies and transparent layers and things like that. And I like the way that PNG holds up as opposed to JPEG. Now, having said that, there are special occasions where I'll use JPEG files. Like if I'm doing a certain, like a lot of the things that use like book formats and stuff, they only support JPEG for whatever reason. Don't really know why. A lot of merchandise stores, they support PNG. Yeah, there's least loss with the file. And so that's why I use PNG, because it really sort of maintains the quality of the picture. So everything you see over there in the slideshow is all going to be PNG files, and I think they hold up really well, the quality, and they're really close in color and everything to the original file. But you know, you can do JPEG. I mean, I only do JPEG when absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. But again, that's up to each your own, you know. Pink Ray, thank you for the follow. Thank you for that support. Thank you, thank you. Let's go in here. So you can see how this is sort of blurred out, and that's fine, because that's sort of what I wanted. I didn't want this to be like some big hulking tree back here. And that's going to be because of the Gaussian blur. We sort of have this little thing here, and of course we can still affect this. We can still pull out branches, we can still manipulate this thing. We can do things like this, so we still have full control of it. It's just got that Gaussian blur on it, which is giving it sort of that stylized look, which is fine, because again, that's what I wanted. So we'll come here. I do, and I'll tell you, the thing with that is, the thing I've learned to do with that is not struggle with that so much, Grim, because the problem with that is different devices are just going to handle colors differently. That's just the way it is, you know? So the way I do that is, I make it to the way I like it, and I have a certain use of color that I use, right? And if it looks good to me, I roll with it. Because you're going to drive yourself batty trying to make sure it's the right color for this and the right color for that. Like Instagram uses a different color profile than Twitter does, and you know, Facebook uses for some reason a different color profile than Instagram, and it's one of those things where like they're very close but they're slightly different. I don't worry about it. I just make it, post it, have a nice day. I mean, you can. I don't worry about it. I used to, and then I just said, nope, I'm just going to make it, post it, and that's what it's going to be. And people are going to like it or they're not. Yeah. And you can drive yourself nuts with it. And that's one of those little things, most people that don't really understand that level of art or what it takes to post pictures, they won't even realize that's a thing, like color profiles and stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. Now I use the RGB8, which is basically used by like Instagram. It's used by a lot of the big art ones. Twitter uses something slightly different, but it works well for me. Like most of the time, what I look at on social is very close in color. It's very little variance. Every now and then it'll look slightly different, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. Let's grab you. Here. Okay, that looks good. I like that. Now, the only thing I want to do is across the front here, I want to experiment with... Let's experiment. Maybe... I want to try to do like some fog, maybe between these rocks. Might look kind of cool if we split this, and maybe we do a little bit of in between here. What is this? Get rid of that. I'd rather have this here. Oh, so that was one element. That was before I put these sort of in the foreground. I like this better. I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of come across here with a basic shape like this. And I'll show you guys how I would do this. Like this. We'll go with white, and then we'll go, let's start with 40% so it's vivid. And what we'll do, we'll put it in front of that so it sort of runs between, obviously in front of this rock, behind this rock, and then it'll be here. So it kind of goes in there. Bunyan, thank you for the host, buddy. I appreciate that, sir. Do you know if print t-shirt companies actually moving away from CMYK? It seems like a lot of them are, Grim. most of the companies now that I look at, like they don't even care if it's CMYK anymore, because apparently a lot of the new printers and what they're doing for new printers don't use the old CMYK model. I guess some of the more modern printers, RGB works just fine from what I'm seeing. So I don't really design in CMYK anymore unless I know that the merchandise or the vendor specifically requires a CMYK color profile. But I do everything with RGB, RGB8, sRGB. Yeah, it seems like for whatever reason we're just moving away from that. I think that was, you know, when printing and stuff was younger in its infancy, right? That was sort of the expected standard because it had a really high quality look. But I think that things are starting to slowly shift out of that mindset into a different vibe, if you will. And again, I think that's due to technology, a lot of it. We're gonna go here. Here. We'll go 0.5 on the Gaussian blur. Oh, why my throat is beginning to feel sore. That's not good. Hope I'm not getting a cold. Hate having a cold. Space Cat's good, aerators. We still got him on here. So, aerator.
Hi, Space Cat.
My freaking my mixplay board broke. Like I took a couple weeks off because I just had a lot to take care of. And when I came back, like all my mixplay buttons were broken, and I just haven't really spent the time to get the mixplay focused again because, you know what I mean? So no, it's not my bot, like my actual mixplay, you know, where you build it. What do they call that on the mixer side? It's the creative whatever, where you actually build the buttons. They just don't work. So yeah, in there, I went in there, I deleted them all, and I'm just gonna have to remake them one day. For whatever reason, they just quit working. They weren't working right, and so I just deleted the whole thing. I still have all the animations and stuff. I guess I just need to sit down and decide like what I want it to be and go ahead and rebuild it. But honestly, like I don't know how I feel about the whole mixplay thing. I think it's more, I don't know, you know. It's one of those. I think it's cool, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like people use it a lot. You know what I mean? I think people were using it more when they were doing like spark dumps and stuff. Or maybe I just need to find a better way to utilize it with my channel. You know what I mean? Which is probably the thing. Because even when I did have it down there, it wasn't really heavily utilized. But I've been brainstorming on some ideas on how to make it more interactive for my channel. Oh, you know. Yeah, it was weird, man. It was like none of the buttons worked. Like they were still in there, they were still programmed. I would run the test in Mix It Up, because I use Mix It Up, and they just wouldn't work right. Like it would call the wrong button or something. It was like the formatting got broken or something. I was like, huh. So you know how you can make a board in there, right? I just deleted the whole board. And I made a new board, but I haven't actually programmed any new functionality yet. I'm going to, though. Like I said, I've got some ideas on how to make it more relevant for my channel. It might give people a reason to, you know, want to spend some sparks on like different ideas, like animation and stuff. I got some ideas, sort of like we used to have. Yeah, honestly, I didn't feel like goofing with it because it's just one of those. It's like anything, right? It takes time. Yeah, and that's what I'm planning on. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get it back. We'll get it back. If you guys have any suggestions for things you would like to see on the Mixplay board, let me know. Like I'm thinking about tying it into some animations you guys can spawn. I'm thinking about doing custom stickers that are native to the channel, and they'll just be like because I'm not partnered, so I don't have like custom stickers, but I'm thinking about creating custom stickers that sort of represent the channel, and you guys can spend spark to like make them spawn on the screen and stuff. They won't spawn in chat, obviously, but you know, on the screen and things like that. I've got some ideas like that I think we could probably have some fun with, you know? Maybe some animations you guys can trigger, things like that. I think we could have some fun with it for sure. Yeah. I've got some ideas. I'm gonna start working on it this week. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till I've got some stuff in there before I really start rolling it out. And then what I'll do is I'll just get feedback from everybody as we roll out new functionalities, new features on it. You know, we'll see how it goes. So I still have an issue with deciding which template or format to use when creating a new document, Affinity. Trying to determine which preset to use. Okay, so I'll show you something in a second, Dennis. Mister, what's up, buddy? How are you? Thank you for the host, sir. So let me show you this. Here's what I do. This is my personal file that I made, and I just add to it every time I want to. What I did right here, Dennis, was I used artboards. So when I make something, I'll give you a better example of this. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find something where... Alright, Grim, take care. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you so much. So watch this, Dennis. Let's take Chewie here, okay? Here's a Chewie that we drew. When the actor passed away, I thought it'd be fun to kind of do this. Chilling and lurking? Well, dude, I appreciate you being here, and thank you for that host, man. So, the way I do this, Dennis, is I have an artboard that's sized for Instagram. I have an artboard that's sized for Twitter. I have an artboard that's sized for Uplabs. I have it sized for Dribble and Patreon. All of them right here. And then you can obviously add to these as you want, right? And so, what I do is when I complete a drawing, I just copy whatever I drew over to the next sized artboard, get it in there where I want it, right? Set the background color, so in this case it'd be like this, and there you go. That's ready for Uplabs. And then the same thing for Twitter, and the same thing keeps going. Osmond, what's up, bud? How are ya? Can't what they need. Video artwork. Still trying to figure out what is the best to use, you know? Right. So I do everything in 1080 by 1080 format because I post a lot of my stuff to social media. The way you're going to need to figure out like the sizing is going to be indicative of where you're posting your stuff or what your stuff is for. So if it's for like a game, you're going to want to obviously size it for that. Or if it's for social media, you're going to want to size it for that. Mine's all based around social media. So I can do stuff like this with, you know, Chewy. I can come in here and I can go to Dribble just like this, you know, and then what I'll do is I'll take it and sort of resize it like this. But this is just the way I personally do it. This isn't necessarily the right way. It's just the way that I've chosen to do it. You know, and then what I can do is I can export all of these at once, and each artboard will maintain its name. So if I go to the export persona and I click export, Instagram's going to be named Instagram, Uplabs is going to be Uplabs, Dribble's going to be Dribble, Twitter's going to be Twitter, and it just kind of goes out like that, right? Just sort of shoots out, and it works really well. Battle Matrix, thank you for the follow. Thank you for that support. I appreciate it. Forgot you streamed on during the day on Monday. Yeah, I do, Oz. And now next Monday I will not be, but typically I do stream during the days on Monday. Dritz, how are ya? Thank you for the host. Yeah, Jedi. Hey, how are ya? Good to see everybody. Thanks for coming out. We were just sort of discussing artboards and sizing of art, so people can kind of see the variations and the differences here. But yeah, that's how I do it, Dennis. It works well for me. You know, again, everybody's going to have a different standard, but it's just kind of the way I do it. Hey, Triz, how are ya? How are things going? Thank you for that, host. I appreciate that, guys. Driss is another creative streamer here on the platform. Also a gamer. If you guys are interested in seeing more art or gameplay, check her out. Really good stuff. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing really well. We're just sitting here sort of going over some stuff. So for anyone that doesn't know, we have a very teachy sort of explanation stream here. So we welcome people coming in and asking questions and things like that. Really enjoy your streams. Help get the mind going for doing vector artwork. Well, thank you, Battle. I appreciate that. Thanks for the comment. You're welcome, Dritz. Dragon, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the host over there on D-Live, sir. How are you doing? Yeah, we've been doing a lot of sceneries, Dritz. I kind of got bit by this bug, and I've really been enjoying making some scene stuff. And I don't, you know, I'll show you sort of the progress of it, because I think it's pretty fascinating. I never really did scenery until I started just one day dabbling in it, and now I just absolutely love it. And so, like, this was the very first scene that I made. Doing good, man, about the dragon. Well, dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dragon. Thank you, sir. I hope you enjoy your food. Thank you. So this was the very first one I did, Driz, and we were just playing with like color theory and just screwing around with. I have come to the conclusion that I really like some vivid colors. I figured that out. There you go. That's exactly why I did it, Driz. Because I was sitting there and I was like, I love making characters. I love doing things like this, but I need to expand. I need to grow, right? I need to continue to get better. And so it was like, I really need to sit down and I need to work on creating an entire scene, right? Like start to finish rather than just a character or a head. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just I want to get better, you know? Tempo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that support. So this was the very first scene we did. Exactly, Dennis. Yeah. And then we did, I want to say this one. Now, this one I never finished because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't love it. I was messing around with noise and some perspective here. Maybe one day I'll go and completely redesign this one. I just didn't like this one. It just wasn't hitting that mark for me. It was just, you know, it was more practice than anything. They're just for learning, Dragon. Just really just getting out there and trying to learn how to do this, you know? Because it's something I had never really touched on. And it's something that I personally want to grow in. It may be, you know, for whatever reason in my brain, it just isn't working. But I learned doing it. So that's the big thing, right? Is really getting that, okay, let's learn, let's keep learning. And that's what it's all about. So then I think we progressed into this one. And the whole point of this scene, and people that like video game art, you'll kind of like this, is which working with perspective and depth and lighting and some of that stuff. Big Mountain, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So you can kind of see the progress and just learning and going forward, you know? And, yeah, it's really good stuff.
Thank you for the ice cream.
Dragon, dude, thank you for the diamond, the ice cream, and lemon, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the donut,
Thank
buddy.
you for the lemon.
And then, you know, they just sort of progressed. Some of my favorites, like this one was here. Hey, Dragon, what's up, buddy? Dragon is another creative here on the platform, guys. If you guys enjoy art, I would definitely recommend checking him out. He is a... he also streams over on DLive, but he is an artist here. He's new to Mixer, but he makes some really good stuff. Definitely worth a follow. Go check him out, guys. You'd appreciate it. Yeah. And then my latest one, I think, was right here. This is my favorite so far. I just really love the way this piece turned out. And for me, it just, the colors work really well, and I just love the idea behind it. And so it was sort of this land speeder, like cruising through the scene with this, you know, like city in the background and everything. And I just really like the feel of it and what it did for me. I didn't think about setting my own templates with various size artboards. That's what I do, Dennis. And you can expand on that, right? So like you can just keep adding artboards. So if you want one that does this, or if you want this, you can just keep growing it, you know? Yeah, right? That's sort of what I was going for here, Dragon. Really, really like this one. And I have come to the determination that I really like some strange color palettes when it comes to sceneries. But you know what? I'm cool with that because I love it. You like the Forza? Yeah? We'll go back and redo it. I promise. We will redo it. And if anyone is curious, welcome to all the new faces. My name's Jeremiah. I do vector art, pixel art. We do animation, things like this.
How you doing, Mr. Seven?
Like that. So if you guys have any questions for me, we welcome questions. We have a very sort of teachy, informative stream where we help people kind of learn. So feel free to ask questions, get involved, and thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's get this here. Gotta keep going here. But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for the host and the follows and all that support. But yeah, Dritz, it really just started with, I just need to, you know, as an artist, you know, you want to keep growing, you want to keep learning, and that's really what it boils down to. Thank you for that, host. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All right, let's keep going on this. We'll come up in here, and I think we'll do a couple small details into this, and then what we'll do is we'll see if we can't sort of merge these in together. We'll go. And we do animations here as well, guys. I'll pull up some examples here real quick. So, if anyone's curious about that, I do them live. They're a little more tricky to try to help explain, but I can help if people are curious, like how this stuff works, or at least the styles of animation that I do. I do some keyframe hand-drawn animations as well, but most of my stuff is going to be vector-based, tween-based animations like this, and things that sort of fall in this vein, and, you know, things over here like this little guy here is a really good example of animation in general. And this is a flat vector character using bones and rigging a controller to sort of skew the character around. So we do these live sometimes as well, but again, questions for these can be a little more difficult because they are, animation is a kind of a different train of thought. So it's one of those things where, you know, it depends on like your experience with it and where you're at personally. But glad to try and help if I can. Dragon, thank you for the host, buddy. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's go in this vein. Alright, buddy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for the donos and thank you for the host, man. I hope you have a good day, bud. Yeah, let's do it like this. What did we set the Gaussian blur to on this one? We did 1. But what if we do just a very, very slight? It's getting there. It's getting there. This one's kicking my butt. I'm not going to lie. But I made a promise to some folks. We're going to finish it. We're going to get there. It's starting to look pretty good. I like the monolith. And we're working on the, up here in the front scene, we're working on some of the fog and some of that. And then we've added some definition to the pillar here. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do here. And then I have no idea what's hanging on these trees. I just went with it. I wanted something, to me it almost has a haunted sort of look to it, but I like the idea behind it. Because again, this is a fantasy piece, right? So we're not really going for realism or real world. I mean, it could be anything. The other thing I wanted to do is maybe put like a second planet. Another piece I'm going to pick up. Yeah, now the thing with the prints is, I'll get it up there. The thing with the prints is, though, in order to make it fit the prints, I do have to do a little bit of work beyond just drawing it like this because of the sizing. But yeah, we can definitely make that happen. Unfortunately for a lot of the prints, though, it's one of those, like, you have to scale it in the right direction. Now, good thing is it's vector art, so I can stretch it, and then I can just add some elements where I need to and make things work right. But it works out pretty well. Go to the back and forward 1. That way we're kind of behind that cloud right there. Now for this piece, I don't know what color I want to do this yet. I think we'll be here for now. I don't know what color I want to do here yet. I'm gonna let this sit here while it sort of stews on the brain, and I'm gonna think about it, see what I want, where I want to go with that sizing and color and everything. But at least it'll get my brain stirring. Because again, I don't really sketch, so it's one of those I just kind of draw on the spot and we feel it out. Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. I appreciate the input. I'm just thankful that people enjoy what I do, you know? It's like I've said before, when I started streaming, I really didn't know, you know, what the outcome would be or if people would even really enjoy it. So I'm just thankful people enjoy watching what I do. I think it's fantastic. All right. And we'll go like this and here. And so what I'm doing now is just sort of manipulating it. And this is getting very nitpicky. You don't have to go to this level of detail. I'm just really trying to work with this and play with the ideas behind it. Just in case anyone is wondering. Alright. Knew why people watch people stream, now I do. Yeah, you know, I would agree with you on that. So when I got into streaming, there were very few streamers that I actually watched. And then the more people that I began to find and the more people that I began to discover, it was amazing to see the connection that streamers can make with their viewers. And it was just something that I really appreciated. And it was something that I wanted to explore and something I wanted to do. You know, and then I base a lot of the ways that I stream and what I do for my streams and the way I do my streams off of some other streamers that I really respected and appreciated. And then I've just sort of built my stream in that manner. So it's just turned into a way for me to, you know, express what I do. I love it. I think it's great. I think everybody, you know, if they want to, should give streaming a try and see if it's something that's for them. And, you know, it may not be for you. It's not for everybody. But I think a lot of people that start doing it, they really do enjoy it. Because I know a lot of people, they sort of suffer from the idea that they are afraid to be on camera and, you know, are afraid to be, you know, put themselves out there. And I can totally understand that. But once you start doing it, you get really comfortable really quick. Much more than you would think. And then, you know, from there, just making your stream what you want it to be. Hey, and I'm proof. I mean, if an old dude making pictures can help people watch or get people watching me, then I'm pretty sure that people have an opportunity. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. What's streaming? Yeah, right. I remember when you started Aerators. I remember the first couple times I watched you, man. You were doing your little you were talking about like what's in the news and gaming and stuff like that, man. I remember tuning in when you had like 100 viewers, dude. No, don't apologize for that. It's who you are. It's where you came from, you know? You did good stuff, man. Okay. You do great stuff, man. I mean, that's why I came and watched. Was it? Dude, I apologize. I didn't realize it was already that close. Well, congratulations, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I took a good month off. I just had too much going on. But my growth slowed down a little bit but we're back on the horse and we're getting things done. Yeah, man. It's been fun. I'm hoping that one of these days we'll hit the partner numbers and then, you know, we can apply and see how it goes. And I think it'd be a lot of fun, but, you know, step at a time. That's the way I look at it. That's all you can do, right? But what's the channel there? So the link is going to be, let me throw it over here. Let me put it here so maybe you can copy it. Will it trigger from here? There you go. See if you can copy that. Try that out, Jenna. That should get you where you need to be, buddy. When you get to apply, there's no way you don't get it in my mind. Yeah, hey, I like to think so. I've had a lot of people say that, Eric. I hope so, because I think I offer something unique and different to the platform, and I think that's a good thing, right? But we'll see. You know, I'm in it for the long haul, man. You know, it's like, for me, it's you know, it's patience. I'm an old guy. I've got patience. Plenty of that. I'm married with kids. I have patience falling out of everywhere. Yeah, exactly. You know, and I also know that, you know, I've got to meet the right people, and the right people have to, like today we had a nice raid from Rob. We had a nice raid last night from Dragon's Lair, so it's sort of given people exposure to my stream that may not otherwise get to see it, and I think that's fantastic, because it gives people an opportunity to see something besides video games and besides, you know, that sort of stream, which there's nothing wrong with those. It's nice to, when you get that support from, you know, partners and people who are, you know, doing other mediums and they enjoy what you do and they share their communities with you. It's really, really, it's fantastic. It really is. I think we're going to go there. I kind of like color. And what I'll do is I'll back down. Now, unfortunately, I do normally stream on Mondays, but unfortunately, next Monday I will not be able to stream because I'm going to be working like crazy overtime for the next couple weeks at work. But I will be streaming at night my regular streams. I just won't be streaming next Monday. Right. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, you never, that's the cool part about streaming, right? Is you never know what you're gonna find when you start looking around, like different streamers and stuff. You never really know what's out there until you start meeting new people and finding new streams and stuff like that. I found some streams before. I'm like, wow, I wish I had found this person ages ago. But you just don't know. Because I mean, every day Mixer gets bigger, streaming gets bigger. There's a lot of people on the platform, and it's about making those connections and meeting the right people and just growing as a streamer. I like that. Yeah, go there with it. Alright, I'm sort of thinking here, guys. Something like this. A little bit smaller with it. And then we'll add some details. I'm liking the location of it. It just needs details, but we'll get there. I want a few more of these stars sort of pulled around. What I'm gonna eat for lunch today. Alright, so we'll do that. I feel like we're starting to get pretty close to where I want to be with this picture as a whole, to be honest with you. I think we'll move into something else. We might do a little bit of animating, or maybe we'll do some random character designs or something. We'll do something. We'll jump into something. What do you guys want to see? You want to see another scene? Do we want to see some character stuff? Does no preference? I like that one. Sort of open there. Let's go here. We'll go across the front of this. Go in here. Good. Down. So yeah, the front of this is what I want to do. So let's go here. We'll give it a slight outer view. Light. Just enough to where you see it. So I'd say about 1. And then I would think what I'll do is I'll do a few more of these tendrils. But I think we'll do them in a way that is sort of, I want them to really branch out. So let's go here. And I think what we'll do is we'll kind of really have it sort of loop down here over the rock. Yeah. Try that. In my head, that makes sense. I don't know if I do it, it makes sense. But we'll just kind of go like this. That works. So we'll just kind of perch it there. And then we can always play with the shades. So we'll select this, which then allows us to modify the points directly to like that. See? Now for that, we'll go 10. 10. We'll go here. Front of that. Nice. That way it cuts behind. Okay, cool. And then of course this. How do I like that? I don't know. Is that looking too like tentacly, or is it? I mean, I don't know if I'm really going for smoke, because I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be regular smoke. It would be sort of a. Can't really decide how I like it. I think we'll try it. I think we'll. What the heck? We'll try it. I mean, it is tentacly, but I think it is. Here, and we'll just kind of reshape these things. So we'll take these 2 points, move them more like this. Perfect. Here. Now you can see what's going to happen. Right now it's in front. I want it in front of this rock, but at the same time, I want it behind that smoke. So there's a way I'm going to do this. We go to 10%. We're going to cut this. We're going to put it on with this one, right? But now you've lost this edge here in the front. So there's 2 ways you can do that. You can copy and then just paste inside like that, you see? And then it sort of helps create that effect. There's multiple ways to do that though, but I like it like that. So then we'll come here. kind of do the same thing, and then I have an idea. I don't know what it looks like. Yeah, let's try it. What the heck? Worst case scenario, we delete it, which we've done before, and we'll do again. We'll go 10%. Same thing. Cut it and paste, and we'll see how it ends up. Snap it. Snap it. Now, the reason I did it like this is then I can take this and we can just sort of put it around this, take it to 10%, and cut it and paste it inside, and then just sort of move it into place, you see? And that sort of almost gives it this almost like lifelike appearance, like it almost has life. Like maybe it's reaching and grabbing onto the rocks for whatever reason. I do think though I'll go with 20. Liking 20 a little bit better than 10. 10 I think is sort of hard to see. Yeah, cool. Now, if I were going to do something interesting, I wonder if I have like a, I think I do, don't I? I have like a runic font. I'm almost say that I do, and I might actually. Let's let me think about it a minute. I will be right back, folks. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick, stretch my legs. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Frodo came with me. You gonna lay down, Frodo? You gonna lay down, buddy? What are you gonna do? You gonna stand up there? I just take these two slides in. Perfect. Alright. You doing? Got the itchy? Okay, good. I'm liking this. All right, let's work on this planet. So, I think the way I'll do this, I almost want to do it similar to the smoke that's going. I don't know if this is going to work or if it's something I'm even going to like, but I sort of want to see what it looks like. Cut it. And like some No Man's Sky stuff. Who's excited about that this week? Anybody? I know I am. Excited to see what they do with it. I'm glad that they've continued to update and make the game better. I think it's fantastic. Okay. Perfect. I like the way that looks. We'll give it a slight rotation. What about like a shooting star? So here's the thing with that. I bought the game on release. Am I going to sit here and lie and say it was a perfect game? Absolutely not. Did I enjoy the time that I spent and did I get my money's worth? Yeah. Is it a much better game now? Without question. And the new update is going to take that even further. I mean, if it's something you've ever been considering or something you're even remotely interested in, at this point, at the price it's at right now, you really, really can't. You really can't argue the value for what you're getting. I mean, they've taken that game and they've just absolutely exploded it. I mean, there's just, yeah. I mean, there's so much value there. If you think you're even gonna like that kind of game, it did. It is a perfect example of how to revive a game, without question. I mean, it's a fantastic game. Hey, Beckett, dude, thank you for the host, sir. Thank you. How you doing, man? We're gonna give a shout out to Beckus. Guys, if you're not following Beckus, please do. For some reason, if you don't know who he is, he's a great creator on this platform. He's extremely supportive of a lot of people on this platform. He's just an all-around genuine nice guy. So please give Beckus a follow if you can. Or if you would, I would appreciate that. He is a really super nice dude. Thank you, Beckus. Thanks for the host. How you doing? Had a power nap. Hey, dude, nothing wrong with that. We're just doing a little work on this fantasy piece, and then kind of messing around with that. But yeah, did you ever play No Man's Sky, Beckus? Curious. We were talking about that when you came in. But yeah, I would recommend, if you've ever been considering No Man's Sky, there really is no better time to try it. I mean, they're getting ready to roll out another huge update, and if you're into space or those kinds of games, I really don't think there's much out there in the market. I think the only other one that would even come close, and it's not done yet, is that Star Citizen, which I know eventually is supposed to be a bigger game, but I mean, it's kind of in a class of its own when it comes to what it does. All right. Yeah, and right now it's on sale for, I want to say, it's on sale for like $20 or $25 or something with the new update pending. I mean, you think about, if you really put that in perspective, if you pay $25 for a game, right, and you get 30, 40 hours out of it, you more than gotten your money's worth, in my opinion. I know there are some people who feel like they should get thousands of hours for a $50 investment, which I don't know how much I truly agree with that, but like, I feel like if I get 40, 50 hours out of a game that I spent money on, I'm okay with it. I feel like I've gotten my money's worth, but, everybody has their own opinion on that. But yeah, it's definitely a good game. I'll be playing it again. I know the update comes out Wednesday. I was kind of hoping it would come out at the beginning of the week, so I could play some today, because unfortunately I have a really busy week ahead of me. But we'll get some playing in, sure. Alright, so I'm thinking we're just about done with this piece. Games and Tunes, hey, how are ya? How are you guys? There's another shout out. Shout outs galore. I am doing well. Guys, Games and Tunes, another creator to follow. They do music, live music, and gameplay. Be sure to check them out. Fantastic people. Well worth a follow. You won't regret it. Good to see you guys. I'm doing really good. I mean, if you think about it, 40, 50 hours for $50 games, $1 an hour. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I see these people that make the argument that they go and they play a game for, they spend $50 in a game, and they're like, oh, I only got 30, 40 hours out of it. And I'm like, you might want to look at your value. You might want to look at your value versus compare it. You know what I mean? You got your money's worth. That happens sometimes, Beckus. Sometimes things just drop. See, that's what I don't understand. You'll spend $30 to go. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. All right. So we're just finishing this piece up. Kind of messing around with it. This isn't really a thing. We're just kind of goofing off here. Maybe we should put a few more of these on the tree. It has. It's happened to me a couple times too, games. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like sometimes I'll be looking on my following page and I'll know for sure I follow someone, and then I'll go to like top streams or something and I'll see them streaming and I'm like, wait a minute, I know I follow that person. And then I go and look and I'm not following them, and it's like, wait, what? Yeah, that happens to me. It's annoying. I think sometimes it just, I don't know. I don't understand the algorithms on that. So I think we're gonna call this thing done for now. Unless I really get some more inspiration to finish out that monolith. I'm pretty happy with the overall, the perspective, the depth, the way it looks, the colors, stepping. I'm good. I think what we'll do is maybe we'll goof off a little bit and we'll maybe do a little bit of character development or something. So, a couple things. I'm working on, and if anybody has feedback, feel free. I'm working on creating some kids' books, and I'm also working on creating like a web comic. I'm toying with the ideas of this because I'm really trying to find a way. We were talking about this the other day. I'm really trying to find a way to utilize my skill set for more than just drawing like just standard pictures, right? Like I want to start working on products or something that I can kind of invest my time into. So we're working on a couple different book ideas, and just curious what you guys, if anything, would be interested in. That way I am making things that would potentially have an audience. Because I don't want to just make things that, you know, for nothing. Because I'm really trying to focus that attention into something. Where are you? Where are you? There it is. We're going to take this. But we're going to do a slight, let's copy this. And I think we can paste the effects glow, right? Paste effects. Okay. So we'll do a slight glow. Outer glow. And but we'll go with and I'll just leave it the way it is. I like it the way. Yeah, that's good. Alright, cool. So yeah, we'll leave that for now. So let's do this. Let's close, reopen this. And what we'll do is, let's get rid of grab it. Grab it, and we close this. Okay, buddy. Let's do some just random, we were doing some random character creations last night. We'll just keep kind of playing with this. And we were looking at the style differences between what is flat and what is still flat, but with more of an outline style like this. Because I tend to do both, but I'm sort of playing around with some different ideas on what I can do for like characters and things like that, and what styles that I prefer. Because I'm sort of torn on how I want it to look. So we'll copy this style, we'll paste it. Let's work on something. I wanna see what I can do. We'll take this as like a rope. I'll go here. It's just a random sketch idea, guys, so sit back, relax. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Welcome questions here. Try to help if we can. Otherwise, just enjoy the art, and thanks for being here. Go up, and we'll go here, and then we'll send this back. Now, the reason we're doing it like this is everything will round out in just a minute, and it'll make more sense in just a second. What you're seeing right now is just the first iteration, like the first pass. So we'll come here, and then you see how you can start to shape a hand. Always so mesmerized with this. It is fun. It's different, you know. And I think a lot of people, they come in and they're just kind of like, what is this? Because they see a lot of digital artists and stuff that paint. But when they come in and they see this, they're sort of, I don't want to say confused, but they're definitely trying to figure out what's going on, which I think is a good thing. Yeah. You guys make any kind of art? I mean, I know you play music, which is an art form in itself, but do you guys make any art in general, or is it all really just music? And what we'll do is we can play with shading and stuff on this. Not at all, just music. I wish I had natural. Yeah, and see, that's like for me, I have zero ability when it comes to music. I tried several times. I tried guitar and stuff like that. It was just one of those things that didn't work well for me. So I just sort of decided I was going to do something else. But I think a lot of mine probably stems also from the fact that my hearing is so bad. It's the way it is. Because I've always had sort of a hard time like hearing certain sounds and certain syllables and certain things. So it's always sort of been a challenge for me. And I think that's sort of played into why I don't do any music or try to do any. Do something unique here. We're just gonna sketch, see where this goes.
We got a new follower.
Madgar, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that support. Thank you for being here. We're just working on some random little sketches here, but thank you for that support. Yeah, right. And that's how I feel about it. My daughter keeps wanting to get into music, and, you know, we're trying to find out, like, what to do for her. I think she's maybe leaning toward, like, piano, keyboard kind of stuff. So we're just kind of playing into that right now to see. I bought her a keyboard. It's sitting over here, and she's sort of been playing it, but I don't really know much about it, so I can't really help her with it. But, we've been sort of, you know, looking at YouTube videos and stuff like that, like trying to find some different things like that, and we're looking into classes for her to see if, you know, we can do something locally for her to maybe get her going on that. Bart, thank you for that host. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, but we're working on it. We're working on it. I am doing very well. We're just doing some random sketches. We sort of finished that one piece for now. I know we keep bouncing back to it. I'll pull it so you can see it, because I know you've been here for most of its iteration. I've still got to figure out the monolith, but you can see we added some shapes into the rear. We added this second planet. We fixed the lighting here around the guy. And we added some things to the tree and some more fog, and we're getting there. It's coming together. Right, and that's what we're thinking. Because, of course, she was like, I want to learn how to play guitar. And I was like, again, I knew nothing about that. So it was one of those, like, all right, well, let's... So we're just kind of trying to point her into any direction that we can at this point and try to help her focus a little bit. And I'm willing to get her lessons or whatever, you know, if it helps. Thank you, Bart. I appreciate it. We're not done with it, I don't think, yet. I keep saying we're done with it, but I don't think we are. Go here. We're just going to hand draw this, and we're going to see where this goes.
Follower.
Roboto, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that support very, very much. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. We're just going to go like this. And I know it's going to look weird at first. I get it. But I'm trying to do a heavy outline style. I want to see what I can do with this and how far I can actually push this. This thing is out way too much. What if can we just scale this back? We can. Then we can these into place. Actually, these would probably need to be nested into here. Yeah. So then we can do like a little sleeve on the arm here. This is like random practice right here for my, what I'm trying to do with like some book stuff. It's kind of where this is coming from, where this is stemming from, if anyone's curious. Me and my daughter, we've been telling these stories since she was little. And I think we're going to turn some of those into books and see what we can do with them. I think it'd be a fun little experiment. Let's do it. Okay. We'll do the arm sleeve sort of down. Yeah. Cool. Did you guys send me a message on Discord? Lauren? I'm assuming that's Lauren on that end. I could do this in numerous ways. I could leave it. I could break it. Let's try breaking it. Just to, what if we take it like this? We break this here. And we bring it up. Yeah, like that. That way it sort of looks interconnected, but it still maintains that shape. Okay, so then let's say we take this guy, sort of go here with it. Do a... And I like this sort of curvy arm look. I like that style, I think. So we're gonna kind of drop this in here like this. Here, good, fantastic. Send that to the back. And then we could do another sort of hand here, like hanging on. Or have him sort of... I don't really know how I'd want to do the legs, because I mean it would have to make sense that he's sort of straddling this rope. So we may actually take the rope and do more like this at this point or something. So we can kind of wrap the legs around it, and then we can always straighten the rope out. That might be. Let's see what that would look like. This is total test mode. Oh. Hope you guys realize that. Go here. I'll combine these two together and see what they look like. Fantastic. And then we can do the same thing here, right? We can essentially drag these points up and make it look like he's sort of holding on, or she, whatever it is. And then we can kind of go like this. Because rope would have a bend at some point during use like this. And kind of, then you can work on sort of wrapping a leg or feet or something around that. Boom. Definitely different, but I think it's doable. It's manageable. They bought some of our message watching dream future work. It seems really slow sending messages. Oh, right on, right on. Well, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, my work, I work in IT. So luckily we kind of control what we can and can't view. So I'm able to, we've got our own little VLAN set up with unrestricted access. So I watch Mixer a lot when I'm at work. I watch streams a lot when I'm at work, just sort of goofing off. But that's part of the advantages of working in IT. I mean, you know, it ain't going nowhere, right? So it's one of those, like, might as well. Watching YouTube and messaging on a Mixer to see if it's faster. Right on, hey, that worked. And you see, that right there is a perfect example, Dennis, why I want to restream. Because some people ask, like, well, why do you restream? Well, I restream because I want to reach a broad audience. I want to be able to reach. I want to be able to reach a group. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just reach one group of people. My whole goal when I started this was really to reach as many people as I can. And I like that fact that maybe someone on YouTube might find me, or someone on DLive, or someone on Mixer, and that way we can sort of grow that community, you know? That's one of the things I absolutely love about it. Because I get people that come in and they specifically find me on YouTube, and I'm always curious. I'm like, if you don't mind, like, how did you find me on YouTube? Like, I'm really curious on that, because YouTube's one of those, you know, the algorithm and stuff, I'm really curious how that all works. And luckily, everyone that's come in has been really friendly. So that works out too. Let's do like this. And we're sort of sketching out this. I'm getting like an Indiana Jones kind of vibe here.
We got a host.
Something.
Welcome, everyone.
Deja Vu, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the host. The Bart say. I'm working on it as well. Nice. I've done IT my whole life. Bart, like I started in IT really young, and I just stuck with it, and I've done it my whole life. So for me, it's been like I had a really strong affinity for electronics when I was a kid, and so when I went to college, I jumped into it and never really looked back. And fortunately for me, I've been able to do it ever since I was young, and been that way for a long time. Yeah. And I've gotten lucky, you know, I've gotten jobs and stuff doing it, so I've been very fortunate. But I'm at the point with IT where it's, you know, there's sometimes I'd rather be doing something else. But hey, it's good. It pays the bills. I can't complain. You know? How we doing today, Deja? Doing good, bud? My goal is, because people always ask, like, what's your goal with, they ask me what my goal with, like, the graphics and stuff is. I hope that one day, I can do this, not just maybe stream full-time. I don't know if I'd be able to stream full-time doing art, but I would like to be able to utilize my art as a means of income, maybe for a design firm or my own products or who knows what. You know, that's the eventual one-day goal. That way I can stay home and, like I tell my wife all the time, stay home and draw pictures all day. Which she's extremely jealous of. But, you know, that is where I'd like to get eventually. I think it'd be really fun, and I think it'd be a really enjoyable thing. Really rewarding thing, I think. Killshot, thank you for that follow. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I have people for that. Yeah. Yep. That's what I would like to do. And I'm hoping that, you know, one day I can use my portfolio as a means of getting that kind of employment. It's like everything in life, you know, you gotta just have a goal and you gotta work toward it. And that's what I'm doing. So when I stream and when I learn and when I do these things and when I teach people, it's really all about that. It's really all about that growth and development and getting to where I want to be. Haven't seen her. I think she's probably working today. I'm pretty sure. My day streams, my Monday streams when I stream during the day, I don't usually see her. There's very rare occasions she's off on Mondays, I think, but don't quote me on that. Once in a while, I'll see her on a Monday. I wrote code on it and write codes to watch me create while I'm writing codes, relax and hearing the questions. It's awesome. Right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's relaxing for you. Alright, so we're going to go sort of there. We're just playing around here, guys. I think we're going to do this for a bit. We might jump into another scene, or who knows what. I've got some animations and stuff I need to work on. I've got some commissions. I need to check with the people I'm doing the commissions with, though, to make sure they're cool with the commissions being done on stream. If they're cool with them being done on stream, then, you know, of course we can work on those on stream. But I always like to ask. I like to be polite toward the, you know, because sometimes people that pay for commissions, they want to unveil whatever it is that they're paying for. And I totally understand that. Okay, so we're going to kind of put this here. I think what we'll do is experiment with like some perspective. Kind of go there. Let's do like a little flashlight in his hand or something. Like maybe he's looking down. I mean, obviously he's on a rope, right? So I'm sort of getting an Indiana Jones vibe. Let's do like the light, like a flashlight or something pointed. We'll kind of play with it and see what this turns into. I don't know. So it would be sort of this. We'll do a little different hand. Now, if I want to do this right, so there's two ways to do this. You can either use very basic shape to draw all the limbs and everything out, or you can do like custom, like I did here, and just sort of do your own curves and whatnot. I mean, there's you know, there's multiple ways to solve that puzzle. I don't really have a preference. It kind of depends on the piece. I do minimal coding myself. I don't do a whole lot of it. I know some Java. I learned a lot of Java early on when I was in early in IT, but a lot of my job is a little different. Personally. You love it? What kind of coding do you do, Robot? Or Dennis, I'll call you. C#. Oh, nice. I never learned much C#. I learned some Java early on when I was doing a lot of HTML stuff back in the day. And then I loosely held on to it. And I can do some pretty good HTML stuff and CSS and Java. That's about the extent of where I stand, personally. So are you going to school for IT then, Bart? Or is that what are you looking at programming? Or are you looking at like hardware IT? What are you looking at? Because I saw you say you're working on it. Yeah, no. Don't worry about it. No need to disclose. I work for a big healthcare chain. But I don't really disclose the company I work for either name-wise, but I work for a big healthcare organization. We've got about, I'd say, 15 hospitals and probably 200 or 300 doctors' offices, and then whole bunch of other stuff, but I work in healthcare IT. That's what I do for a living. Thinking the hardware side. Okay, right? I started as a robotics programmer back in '94 using VB3, so yeah, doing it for a while now. Right. I started, so let's see, in '94 I would have been 14, and I was scouring the web, learning how to do my own custom little GeoCities. Was that the deal back then? I think it was like GeoCities. I was learning how to build my own little custom GeoCities websites on like some scrap together HTML. 14 years old. I remember that. It was a long time ago. Yeah, GeoCities. Am I okay? Angel Fire. That's it. Oh man. Because you could get like, what was it? You could get like a free 10 meg host or whatever it was, or. And basically, it would say like geocities.com/user/ whatever your username was. And then you would get like a free website, but then it would have to have the GeoCities ad or the Angel Fire ad running on it. And that's where I learned a lot of my HTML and stuff back in the day. Just from doing that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's where I learned how to do, a lot of command line and how to get into like doing things like that. And I mean, it's really funny. It's like I was telling somebody at work one day, my first real experiences with DOS that I still use today was when I wanted to play video games. You know what I mean? Everyone. Killshot, thank you for that host. I appreciate that. Because back in the day, if you wanted to run video games on a Windows PC, you had to run them in DOS. There was no GUI for like the old Windows 95 games and stuff. So you'd have to drop in DOS. You'd have to run MemMaker. Because, Windows would load and use your 32 megs of RAM. So you'd have to go into DOS. You'd have to unload the RAM into DOS, right? And then you'd have to start up the game. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it was old days, man. Back when playing a game involved being IT, basically. When I was younger, but better. Yeah, absolutely, Bart. I mean, that's the thing, right? You're never too old to start. Just enjoy it. I miss DOS, yeah. I used to love using it, like... Even when we moved into like a Windows 98 computer, I still use DOS primarily for so many things, because running on Windows 3.1 and Windows 95 as a teenager and early teens, like I got so used to using command prompt and DOS that I would prefer to use it. And then even when we switched into like Windows, it was always just I would always just kind of play with it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Beck. It's like those were the old days, and back then. We didn't have the knowledge bases like you do now. So if you wanted to learn something, there was a lot of trial and error. I mean, you just had to dig at it, and I remember spending so many hours just programming like little menus and stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Lots of, yeah. Yep. But I got into IT, let's see, I got into IT in 1999 is when I officially got into IT. And I've been doing it ever since. So 20 years? I'm gonna make myself sound old, but that's okay. Lots of books. Oh yeah, I read a ton of books when I was a kid. Y2K, oh yeah. I was during the whole Y2K craze. That's like right when I got into IT, and that was such a funny thing, which ended up being a whatever. But hey, class, how's it going, buddy? How are you, guys? Let me Guys, if you're not following Glass, please do. He is another creative streamer here on the platform. Super cool guy. Does a lot of traditional stuff. Really, really, really nice guy. Check him out. You were cold by then. I hear you. I hear you. Or old to some people. Let's put it that way. And I remember those old days, man. Like, I loved them. And I remember, see if anybody remembers this. It's like one vivid memory of being a teenager. There was a screensaver that I used to have on my Windows 95 PC. I want to say it was called like Johnny Castaway. And I'm curious if anybody remembers that. And it was this little dude that would sit on an island. And he would like roam around the island. And like ships would sail by and stuff like that, right? But what's funny about that screensaver is that screensaver was like 110 megs to download or something. And back then I was on like a 14 4K modem. So I would have to connect. My mom used to get so mad at me because I would connect the dial-up overnight and I'd let stuff download and she would get so mad because she'd be like, what if somebody was trying to get a hold of me? What if it was an emergency? And I've got the phone connected all night downloading screensavers. She used to get so angry at me. You want to learn more Linux? I've got a Linux PC over here that I use. I'm actually, Bart, I'm gonna do some streams from Linux here soon. So if you've got any Linux questions, I use Linux at work as well. So like, we're gonna do some Linux streams. Because I've got a Linux PC with a second monitor set up, and I've got OBS set up on it. And we're gonna do some straight from Linux. So you guys can kind of see the flip side of that a little bit. It'll be kind of interesting. See how it goes. That I remember hogging. Oh yeah, games. Like, my mom used to get mad. So mad. And then my mom just got sick of sharing the phone line, so she actually paid the money to have a second phone line installed in the house so that I could use internet, because she got so angry with me using it all the time. Phone was always tied up. Like that. Wow, now I want to find it, see if I can make work. Oh yeah, Johnny Castaway. Yes. You bought my first one, was a 386. I bought, yep. So I bought, my first PC was a 486 DX2, 8 megs of RAM, 100 meg hard drive, Windows 3.1 with a 2 meg Trident video card. It didn't even have sound. There was no sound on it because the motherboard at the time didn't support sound, and there was no interface for it. No ISA card or whatever. Old days, man. Old days. Then my mom hosted a computer class for adults. He joined it. Did computer Bibles. Yep. So there you go. And that's what it is. It's like we all started. Old 8086 laptop, yes. Yep. Those are the old days, man. Like, and do you guys remember something that was really common back then? I'm curious who remembers these. I don't remember the names of any of them. There were those video games that were like movies. They would actually record like a movie, but then they would really downscale the quality of it. But like, you would play the game, and it was sort of like an RPG and stuff, and you would make your decision, and then it would play like a movie scene, and they were like real characters acting it out. And then you would you would kind of progress through the game like that, and you would sort of load scene to scene. So you would like enter a bar per se, and a scene would play out, and then you'd make a decision, and another scene would play out. Does anyone remember those? They were really bizarre, but they were like live actors games. They were kind of weird. I don't remember any of the names of them. Oh, see, I've been in computers since I was a kid, like really young. I was lucky enough that my parents were very cool with it, and they really got us into computers early, which I'm thankful for because I turned it into a career. I think you're right, Roboto. It's one of those like vague memories I have up here. You know what I mean? I used to play a lot of MUDs, a lot of text-based MUDs. Yeah. Wow, it's funny. I was a kid, yeah. It's like my daughter now, man. She'll sit here and she'll go to download a game on Roblox, right? And it might be like 200 megs, which we're on gigabit here. So it might be a 200 meg game, right? That takes 15 seconds to download, if that, 10 seconds or whatever. And my daughter would be like, "Oh, come on, this thing's taking forever." And I'm like, "Child, don't even start with me." Yeah. Oregon Trail. Oregon Trail is fantastic. That was one of my first games too. Bart. That was early on. I remember playing Oregon Trail on an old Mac. Been in IT his whole life. Yeah, see, Oregon Trail, I used to play the heck out of Oregon Trail. You know, my favorite part was hunting, and I was terrible at it. Because what I would do is I'd load my wagon down with bullets, because I was always like, all right, I was like that little 9-year-old, 10-year-old that was like, okay, I'm going to kill everything I want. I'm not even going to take any food. So I'd spend all my money on bullets. I'd go out in the wild, I wouldn't hit a darn thing, and everybody'd be dead by the time they hit the first river, because they'd be starved. The zombie version. Oh, yeah, that's the, I know which one you're talking about. Oregon Trail, yes. Yes. Yep. Hey, King J. Oregon Trail, you know it. We all played it. A lot of us did. If you didn't, you missed out, because that was a beautifully fun game. I mean, the game still holds up. Alright, sorry. We are arting. I promise we're making art here, folks. I do. It's just kind of fun reminiscing on the old days. Alright, so let's go with... Might have to change the name of this to Talk Show, right? You keep it up. Always drown in the river? Yes. I was that kid. I was always like, we can forge. Just forge the river. Just go. Right? And it never failed. I would make it across like the first 2, and then I'd get to 1, and the whole team would be dead. And somebody would die of dysentery pretty quick. And I never understood. One thing that used to drive me nuts in that game. How do people break their legs so daggone much riding on a wagon? I mean, what are they doing? Jumping off the wagon? Or are they getting under the wagon? Like, it'd be like Susie broke her leg, and you're like, how the heck did Susie break her leg on the wagon? What is she doing? You're in a wagon. You can't break your leg. I never understood that. But that was that old logic, you know? Like, such and such broke their leg, and you're like, stop breaking legs. You know? Does anyone remember that? It always used to. I was always like, I remember being a kid and I was like, how in the world did they break their leg in the wagon? Throwing each other under the wagon. Probably, Zandu. You're probably not kidding. Right. Yeah. Because I would always be mean too, because like I would always name one of the little girls like after my sister. And I would like purposefully do bad things, you know, or like not bad things, but like I'd always laugh like when it was like, Teresa has dysentery. I'd be like, yeah, you know, because I was always that little turd. Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, those are the good old days, man. Been there. Yep. These young whippersnappers today, man. Like my kid. Yeah. Oh, floppy drives. I remember when I bought, I want to say it was Wolfenstein? The first, or Doom on floppy? Or was it Quake? I don't remember. It was one of the first games I owned on floppy. I want to say it was Wolfenstein. Castle Wolfenstein or Wolfenstein 3D or whatever. Might have been Doom. I don't remember. It was like 3 or 4 floppies. 5 1/4, yeah. Do you? Wow. Not me. You know what used to be fun? Installing Windows from floppy drives. Windows 98. Was Windows 98? I think Windows 98 was the last Windows OS to come on floppy. But it was like 10 floppies. So it'd be like, and it would never fail. You'd have a bad floppy, right? So you'd be installing Windows. You'd get to disk 4 and daggone disk 4 wouldn't work. Right there, Dragon. You know exactly what I'm saying. And so it'd be like, great, I need another disk 4. So you're like looking around the office or you're copying somebody else's disk 4. Oh, jeez. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those are the old days, man. Room filling up so good. Yeah, Deja, we've had a couple nice raids. Dragon gave us a real nice raid last night. Rob came in this morning, dropped a nice raid. It's been really good. Been a lot of support lately. Been really nice. Been really nice. Been nice. I'm thankful for all the support people have been giving. All right, let's thank you guys. What am I trying to do here. Kind of tag it in this and this. Okay, cool. And we'll play around with this. So for anyone that's curious what the heck I'm doing and why I'm doing this style, for anyone who just checking in, I'm currently toying with the idea of making like some webcomics or kids books or something like that. So I'm sort of experimenting with this style, this process, to see what I can do with that. Because I'd really like to start, I was mentioning this the other night, I'd really like to start using my ability to try and start creating stuff. Like something. I don't know what yet. Yeah. You're good, sweet. Alright, so we're gonna, let's do like a leg wrap here. We'll do sort of a flashlight look. Maybe we'll do this sort of illuminated. Yeah, I threw a shout out to all of them, Deja. Yeah, there's some good folks in here. Really good people. We get a lot of support here, and I'm very, very thankful of it. Very thankful. Thank you, sweetie. I'm trying. You know, the thing with this is, it's a constant learning cycle, and that's what I always tell people. Because no, I don't want to update Citrix right now. Thank you. I always tell people, like, I get a lot of people in here, and they're always curious, like, you know, why or how I'm learning things. And honestly, it's like I tell people, it's really just that constant work. I mean, I'm just always learning stuff. Always. Trying to... You're good, Deja. I appreciate that support, dude. You're always in here helping out, and I appreciate it, man. Hope everybody's having a great day. Thank you for spending your time with me. I do appreciate it. Real quick, while we've got some new faces here, if anyone has questions for me, please let me know. We do a very sort of teaching stream here. I welcome questions. If you want to know what kind of software I'm using or what techniques I'm using, feel free to ask. I like helping educate people. I like trying to help people. And so if I can help you in any way, let me know. If I can't, we'll try to help you out. Yeah, right, Osman. Yeah, Beckus. Yeah. Yeah, Glass does. Glass is great. I watch Glass every time I get an opportunity. I usually watch Glass when I'm at work. But he does a lot of like traditional stuff, which is different than what you're going to see here. It's more of like traditional art, but it's great. He's a really nice guy. Super friendly, too. Don't let him tell you he isn't, because he is. Alright, let's go... Here, we'll take this to the back. We'll get moving here. Let's do like a little face. What should we do? Should we put like a backpack on this? What do you guys want to see here? You tell me. What should we do with this? I'm thinking we should give it like a little backpack. Maybe make it look like a little explorer, sort of coming down a ravine on like a little rope or something, or a vine. Who knows what? Hey, Galen, what's up, dude? Good to see you over there. How are you? Good to see you, buddy. We're goofing around. We're practicing some styles and stuff, man. Backpack and a hat? Alright, let's do it. We're kind of practicing some styles, just seeing what we can come up with here. We'll do it like this. We'll do sort of a loose-looking backpack, kind of like this. Feeling a little better today. I'm glad to hear it, dude. I'm glad to hear it. I better plug this real quick. I'm a terrible self-promoter, and I apologize for that. There's my social info, guys. If you guys are interested, I do post my art on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm also on YouTube, where I do like vector art tutorials, and I do speed art and different things like that. If you want to follow me there, feel free. No pressure. You're welcome to. You don't have to. Saw you streaming, wanted to say, hey, well, dude, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Go like this, and we're gonna give him a couple over the shoulder. We'll do some straps here. We'll kind of go. And what we'll do is we'll tie that in here in a minute. Kind of go like this, and then we'll pop this. And see, this is, again, this isn't my normal style, guys, but it's nice to kind of just explore it a bit and see what you can come up with, you know? Because sometimes we all need that practice. So we'll go here, and we'll cut it, and we'll paste it in front of the shirt. And you can see how I use that to sort of get things precisely where I want them, like this. And then over here, I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to do this. Take this. Go right here like this, and then we could probably do a mask and pull this off. In fact, I think we can. So watch this. I'm going to show you guys what a mask will do. Always make it look so easy. Yeah, it's, you know, it's super fun, and you know, I'm still learning a lot of it myself. So watch this. We're going to do a mask. I want to show you guys something really cool. For those of you who don't know what a mask essentially can hide shapes below it, or that it's not in view of. And I'll show you what I mean by that. If we create this mask and we go in and mask this shape, you see what that just did right there? It basically, we can select the mask size, like right here, and if you look at it with the mask off, you can see the shape show through, right? But if you turn the mask on, you can see how it hides those particular little shapes like that. And where that's useful is if you want to just create things like that to sort of give that pseudo depth look. It can really do some cool stuff. Really cool little things. We got a
new follower.
Oil Subset, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that support. Yeah. You can do some neat stuff, and of course, you see if you move this, the mask moves with it, right? So you just gotta kind of watch how you do that. But yeah, you can do neat stuff. So what I think I'll do is move it in a bit, and then I will actually update that mask more like this to help that black shine through, just like that. And we'll just peel that back a bit. I'd say right there. There you go. That looks perfect to me. And then we can also get into shading this. We don't have to, but I think we will. I think it'll be a fun picture to shade. So we're going to bring the head back a bit more like this. So there's our backpack. Let's do a second sleeve. Let's do the red thing, and the colors can change, right? I think what we'll do is the red shirt will be more like maybe an overcoat. Let's do like a little long sleeve shirt under it. Let's see what that looks like. And if we don't like it, we can always delete it. So we'll go here with it. And then we'll kind of bring it up higher like this. And we'll just bring it in. Alright, cool. We'll go with the color for now. This is not the way we're going to leave it. So we'll copy, let me get my coffee out of the way. We'll copy this, we'll paste this style, and then we'll paste on top of the arm. Now, what we'll do with this is we'll just go with like a different color. Like maybe a, you know, a gray or a white or something like that. And I think what we'll do is we'll move some of these. We're going to change this color up here in a minute. Hey, Snipes. Thank you for that follow. I appreciate that support. Thank you very, very much. And then, of course, we'll do the same thing over here. And then we'll work out the coloring. So we'll kind of come here. Hey, thank you for those sparks. I appreciate that very much.
We got a new follower.
Thank you for the follow. Wow, appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Alright, cool. So you can see how we did that right now. I think what we're gonna do, thank you, sweet. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Alright, let's go with, let's do like a green. Maybe like some sort of a green coat, and then we'll add some details and stuff to it. Let's do like, let's do something like this. I'm liking that color in a way. And you know, again, we can always sort of change this up. Nothing is concrete. And then what we'll do is let's do like a zipper down the front here. Yeah. Pretty amazing, right? I'm always humbled when people come in to check it out. Do a little zipper like this. There we go. So now it makes it look as though that's sort of zipped down the front, right? And again, this is a random sketch. This isn't necessarily anything particular. We haven't even shaded this yet. So once we start shading this out, it should change a lot of the picture up. But for now, I'm liking the direction it's going. I like that better in red. Me too. Me too. Now we will do one thing. We'll fill this color. And people always ask me, something people ask me a lot, and I'll show this real quick. I don't really focus on layers, layer names, or any of that if I'm doing a random picture. But I'll show you guys something really cool that really streamlines this process incredibly. Hang on a second. So if you happen to be using Affinity Designer, and I think other softwares may do this as well, super nice guy, super creative, and always willing to help out. Well, thank you, Galen. I appreciate that, buddy. So I do it like this. This is how I manage my files, and I'll show you a real quick rundown because it's one of those, people always ask, like, how do I move the files around so quickly? And this is how I do it personally. And it's not to say this is necessarily the only way, but it's a really good way I've found that allows me to work in a very accelerated timeline. Alright, so let's make this one purple. So you'll see a lot of people that really focus heavily on layer management, right? And I don't, and I'm going to show you why. So a cool trick I've found is if I want this blue circle to be on top of this red and green, but behind the purple and the yellow, I don't sit here and go over to my layer panel and move it up, move it down, or do any keystroke. I literally just cut it, choose the shape I want it in front of, and paste. See that? Or let's say we want the red one to be in front of everything but the purple. Cut it, choose the yellow, and paste. You see that? So it handles my layer management for me, so I don't have to nitpick about it. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean I don't worry about it. I just don't worry about it if I'm doing a general drawing. If I'm creating something that's going to be animated, like, I'll show you an example here. If I'm creating assets like this and I'm going to animate, then I worry about layer management because I want things to be named appropriately. I want things to be done in a way that when I bring them in to animate it, that everything is named appropriately and I can animate really quickly. But if I'm just doing general art, then I don't really concern myself with it. All right, Bart. You know, and where this also works is in groups. So if I group this, and then I copy it out, that works in groups. Now it looks like an everlasting gobstopper in a way. Kind of funny. All right, so you can do the same thing with groups here, right? So I can do things like this. Like, let's say I want this group on the top. Okay, there it is. It's on the top. Or if I want this one in the middle, there you go. You see what I mean? So again, that's how I sort of manage my files so quickly, because I get a lot of questions about that, and that's just the way that I do it. Doesn't mean that's the only way or the right way, but it is, you know, the way that I do it. Hey, Prophets, what's up, buddy? Good to see ya. There's God among men. Nah, man. I'm just a humble old dude that likes to draw circles and stuff, buddy. How are ya? Oh yeah, Robot. That's my favorite movie. People always ask me what my favorite movie is. The original Willy Wonka. And there's a couple reasons for that. For me, it's nostalgia. I grew up as a child, and every Thanksgiving I would go home to my grandparents' house. That would be on TV. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas. So me and all my cousins would sprawl out on my grandparents' floor, and we'd watch the big box TV, and we'd watch Willy Wonka. So it's one of those movies, I've seen it so many times in my life. It's just a movie that I love. And, you know, there's some things about it that are corny. There's things about it that are awesome. But me personally, it's one of those movies that I can watch and just smile the whole way through. Because the memories and just being able to watch that movie, I love that movie. So for me, it's like, it's one of those movies I can't get enough of. Anytime my kid wants to watch it, we pop it on, you know? And it's funny because I call my daughter Veruca when she starts acting up. Like, we'll be out in public, and she'll know the reference straight away. But she'll be like, "But Daddy," and I'll say Veruca, and she'll just look at me and be like, she'll give me that stare down. Oh yeah. And I'll say, "That's enough, Miss Salt." Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because as soon as I say that, she looks at me and she gives me the eye. She's like, "Don't you do that." It is. It's cute. It's cute. Okay, good. I like the way that's looking. Let's resize this a bit. How you doing, Prophets? It's good to see you, bud. Should we give this man a beard? I'm feeling like we should do a beard. Like maybe he's some sort of an explorer. Let's do a beard. Let's do maybe some glasses. And then we'll do like a hat. And yeah. A slimline one? Okay. All right. Oh, of course, Becca's. I emailed you about some work. Let me know what you think. Sure thing, Killshot. I'll get to it. Grizzly Adams. All right, so we've got either thin lined or Grizzly Adams. All right, hold on.
We got a new follower.
Aquaman, thank you for the follow. ZZ Top Style. All right, here's what we'll do. How about this? I know exactly what we'll do. We'll do a treat. We'll do 3 different beards. We will copy the heads over like this, and then we will all decide which one we like the best. How does that sound? That's a challenge. We'll see how it goes. Maybe thin, not husky enough for grizzly. I like my grizzly beard, though. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. Alright, so let's start. We're going to start with one beard. I'm a big beard kind of guy. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We're not going to do this in the flat sense. Like, I'm going to show you guys something really quick. We'll do something real fast. Okay? If we were to do flat design, which is going to be this style of art here, which is, we're kind of bleeding the two together, right? A beard and flat design would sort of look like this.
We got a host. Welcome, everyone.
Like this, right? This is what a flat design beard, you can quickly pull off something like this, and then of course you can build the face. But we're not going to go for that style. We're going to go for a little more of a 3D perspective look. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that.
We got a new
Thank you for the host. Thank you, Roboto Profits. Appreciate it, y'all. Still learning Mixer. No worries. No worries. You're new to Mixer? Welcome to Mixer. Thank you. Profits, you're not following me? Beckett's is going to get you. Nah. We were talking about that earlier. I know. I had somebody the other day. We were talking about that when Games and Twos came in. I was watching the other day, somebody I knew I followed, and I went to the top streams, and I looked down, and I wasn't following them, and I'm like, what the heck? I don't know. It's sort of weird like that. Like, sometimes you lose follows for some reason. I don't know. Okay, let's start. It's good to see you, though, Profits. Hope you're doing well, man. I want to see some more art, Profits. Need more art. Get this perspective just right. Yeah, Bart, yeah. Nah, it happens. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. He actually found me on YouTube, Bart, which is awesome, which is why I enjoy restreaming, because now he's new to Mixer. And this is why I really enjoy restreaming, and I think it's such a valuable thing to do, because right there is someone who found me on YouTube and now has come in and made a Mixer account. You know, and I think that's really one of the benefits of being able to restream like that, is that you reach broader audiences and you begin to meet new people and bring in new people and things like that. And I think that's such a cool thing, is that, you know, we're expanding outward, which is really what I want to do. Right. Yep. And I'm always curious how people find me on YouTube. You know, like, how do they find me and stuff like that? Because, real quick thing, this is pretty cool, guys. I know this is different, change of pace, but like my YouTube, I broke 400 subscribers and we've almost broken 20,000 total views, which to me is incredible. So I'm really excited about that. I can't tell you. Back in YouTube work and found Affinity and Jer. Yeah, I know, Beckett. I was like, holy smokes, somebody likes me. No, I mean, it's cool. It's neat when you start hitting those, you know, when you start hitting those milestones, right, where you feel good about what you're doing. You came from Inkscape. Yep, a lot of people did. Yep, when I first started with vector art, it was in Inkscape. That was the very first vector art program I ever used. Should we do like a brimmed hat, sort of a Indiana Jones style? Is that what we're wanting here? Or are we talking like a prospector style hat? Like, what do we... to, we got to get the perspective just right. So it's going to be like this, and then like this. Yep. And we'll just go with brown for now. Okay, and we can move this point in if we want. Yeah, Inkscape's a great program. The only problem I have with Inkscape is that, and I get it, it's a free program and it's open source, right? But while it has really good functionality, the interface is just funky. And I know that they've made statements that they're trying to work on that and that they have plans to adjust that, and they really need to, because we're getting into an age where that kind of stuff matters, you know, and people really, they want to have a good user experience. So you really need to worry about those things. Inkscape is a really great program. It's a vector program capable of some amazing things. It works on Mac, Linux, Windows, it's cross-platform. It works fantastic. But the interface is, it's old, very old. I don't think the interface has been updated since like Windows 2000. I mean, it's got a very dated look. And so what happens is some of the features are a little convoluted and hard to find. Like they're there, but getting to them or figuring out how to do them can be a little tricky. You know? Yeah. But don't let it retract away from this program. It's a great program. I just feel like they really need to emphasize some development into the interface, in my opinion. Okay, let's go right here. Let's see what this is. I never really made a cowboy hat. This ought to be interesting. This should work. We're just going to make the shape for right now. Right, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing. And it's great if you're doing simple stuff. And I mean, again, it is free. You can't be free. You know? You can still support Jared from YouTube. Absolutely. Yep. I'm all for people supporting me from wherever they can. You know, like I understand if people are, you know, they want to watch on YouTube, great. Okay. Right. Yeah, me too. I'm always curious. Especially when it comes from YouTube, because that's one of those things where, like I said, it's really interesting to see just how that process works, because I'm always curious how people find it, you know what I mean? And follow it. I have Mixer following. Yeah. Yep. And well, and that was part of the reason too that we the other day we started incorporating our restream into YouTube, because I wanted to reach that side of it as well, you know? Because once we got everything stable on Mixer, then we turned on DLive, and then now we're also streaming to YouTube. That way we have all three platforms covered. Yes, yeah, and that was something I really wanted. I wanted you guys to be able to converse. That way, if someone's on YouTube, they can converse with the people on Mixer and so forth and so on. I want everyone to be able to have that. Yeah, right. Yeah, good. Glad to hear it. What we'll do is we'll streamer, he does DLive. Yeah, like I'm actually partnered on DLive, Bart, and I think it's like every other platform, right? I look at it like this: all platforms have their pros and have their cons, all of them. I feel like for me, the biggest takeaway for me again is being able to reach an audience. That's really where I'm at, is I want to be able to reach people. And that's why I choose to stream on platforms that allow restreaming and allow you to do that, because I like being able to just reach people. What the Sparks are for. So Sparks are essentially a way for you to interact with chat. And basically they allow you to use stickers and use like little things that can interact with chat and pop up in chat. They're just a way to sort of, for you to show appreciation or just keep chat moving and that kind of stuff is really what they are. Now for partnered streamers, someone correct me if I'm wrong here, but for partnered streamers on Mixer, Sparks increase the payment you get from Embers that you receive. I think I said that right. So Embers and Sparks are different. Well, embers are monetary donations, where sparks increase the amount your embers are worth, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you, Games and Tunes. Yeah. But you are welcome to use your sparks here. Don't feel like you can't. I think sparks are fantastic, and I like people to use them wherever they want. You know, if you want to save them for partners, I totally understand. You know, everybody, I mean, they're your sparks. You know. Yeah. I've always looked at sparks as a way to interact with the chat. You know, that's what I've always seen sparks as. I've never looked at sparks as a form of payment. I know some people did, and that's cool. But I've always been like, you know, boom. Yeah, embers are like bits on Twitch, exactly. Yep. Right. You're all right. Yeah, there's a lot of partners. There's some partners here in chat. Games and Tunes. There's a couple others in here. Dragon was in here earlier. We've got several partners that hang out in here, and just really, really great people. There's some awesome people on this platform that are well worth your time and well worth your interest. Just really, really good people. Really, really good people that are very supportive of one another, which I think is fantastic. Like Beckett's, he is a super, super cool guy. Beckett's is a really big supporter of a lot of people and just a really genuine person. I mean, there's just some amazing people on Mixer. It really is. Really, really is. Can't state that enough. So how do I use them in chat? So are you on mobile or are you on... Mixer's working on money. They are. Deja, from what I understand, they're going to be allowing non-partners to start monetizing. I don't really know what extent or what numbers you're going to need to do that, but I know that that's going to be a thing coming. You're on the browser. Okay. It is going to be... I think it's under skills. Is it under skills, guys? Yeah. Bart will help you out. You have a few minutes when you're done, Jer. I'd like to pick it. Absolutely, Galen. Yeah, man. Send me a message anytime, buddy. You know that. Anytime, man. Anytime. All will be able to collect embers. Right, and that's sort of what the Embers for All program was, right? It was a way to test that all out. There you go. And that's how you do it. Just that easy. That's gifts and donations. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Of course. Thank you, Bart. Thanks for helping him out. And see, that's what I really like about, and that's something I've tried to do from day one, and you guys will learn that here, is that I've always, my mission when I started streaming was always that I hope to be able to inspire and help educate and just promote creativity on the platforms, any platform I'm on. And something I've always, and I will remain true to this to the end. Like, I will always keep it family friendly here. It will always be a welcoming, safe community for people to be able to come and learn and ask questions and things like that. That's what it's all about. And so my stream will always be that way. And so I want anyone to know that. Like, if you want to ask questions or whatever, you're more than welcome to. Like, we welcome that here. And it's been that way since day one for me. And I keep it family friendly because I like people to be able to bring their kids in if they want and be able to be trusting and knowing of that. My daughter enjoys watching the streams. So, for me, it's always been about family friendly content and being able to give people a place to just hang out and relax. Yes, exactly, Deja. There's so many ways to show support. It's not just money. Like, just you being here, interacting with chat, asking questions, being a part of the community is one of the best ways you can actually support a streamer. Because, streaming, it's a lot of energy. It's a very involved thing. And it's really nice to be able to have people just hang out and support what you do. Even if it's just being there and showing support through the stream. It's fantastic. Yeah. Yep. I always tell people that. Don't think you have to come in here and drop donations and spend embers, or, you know, if you can, great. But there's absolutely no requirement. I don't think I want to go that far. I think we'll just kind of leave it like that. We'll leave this big old beard like this. Now let's do a small set of eyes. We'll go here. And I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of drop them down like this. And again, we're going for a little different style here, guys. Not my normal. Let's consider this a learning stream. We got a little dude here. And then what we'll do is we're going to move this part of the beard up, I feel like. Because I want to. Let's do some small eyelashes. And the way we'll do them, instead of using a standard shape, is we'll just kind of draw them out like this. This one down, we'll bring this over just a bit, and then we'll just bring this down like this, see? And then we can just sort of play around with this. These strokes might be too heavy on the eyes, but we'll play with that. This one will come right over the eye, that way he looks concerned. He's got that little bit of a, no? Alright, let's, what kind of mouth do we want to give this fella? Because I want to raise this up so the mouth will fit in the beard. But this is going to be our big beard. And then we'll do the thin beard. And we'll make it look a little more scruffy. Don't worry about that. And again, we've not done any shading on this character. Half smile. So there's several ways we can do that. We can do a traditional sort of face, which is going to be sort of this look here. You know, we can do stuff like this. Or we can actually do a cutout in the hair. I'll show you what this would look like. So we could do something like this down here to kind of help sell that. Of course, this would need to come up some more to make sense from an anatomy. Well, yeah. Something like that. Now, we can make it look scruffy. We can keep it, you know, the beard nice and smooth. There's a lot of different ways to sort of handle that. But I like the overall look at this style. I think it's fun, and I think I could do some really cute like stuff with it. Especially when you come in and start. So what we'll do is go like this. Before we shade the character in, I think what we'll do is we'll make a duplicate. We'll group it. That way we sort of have just this over here. And for anyone who's not familiar with vector, I want to show you guys something real quick, because I think this is something that people may not fully understand sometimes. Vector is really cool because of the scalability of it. So if we open this little weird creature thing we did right here, right? If we copy this over, this is the neat part about vector, is how well you can scale it and how well it maintains quality, right? So if we look at this little guy, look how far we're scaling this down, right? Here's the original. If we zoom in, look at the quality. It looks just as good here, right? Well, if we copy this out, guess what? We can just keep scaling it. We can just keep going down. And if we zoom in, guess what? It looks exactly the same. And again, you can just keep doing that. And then eventually you're going to see how far out we've gotten. So here we are, all the way to the original. You see that? And the quality doesn't change. It maintains its shape because of the way that it... And you can also scale up without losing quality. So you can go as big or small as you want without really losing any of the clarity of the picture, which is fantastic. Yeah. I like this style, though. I think it's got a really cute look to it. And of course, we'll do some little legs with some little boots or something. You know what we might do? I have an idea. This might look really cool. Bear with me a minute. What if we do like a little rock and maybe he's sort of like lunged against it, holding on to the rope? And we'll kind of have his feet resting on the rock. Sort of like, let's go here. Give it a gray. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of move the rock into place. We'll just make a little scene out of this. And then we'll start shading everything in, and we'll actually turn it into a real picture. Yeah, that'll be kind of fun. So we'll kind of go here with it, and we'll do some shading on the rock. And we'll move what his light is. Very cool. It's kind of neat when you consider this started as a whole lot of nothing. Like, we didn't really have any plans for this drawing, and here we are. You know? Maybe a mountain goat eating grass, just watching him. Yeah, we'll put some little things. How long have I been on Mixer? So I have been on Mixer not quite a year and a half, Bart. I would say probably right around 14, 15 months or so. And I started pretty light. Like, when I first started, I was only streaming maybe 2 days a week. And then I ramped up to about 4 to 5 days a week. And then about a month ago, I had to take a month or so off just because of some real life stuff. And so I'd say all in all, actual stream, probably about 13 months or so. I've been streaming on and off on Mixer. Yeah, pretty good. And I'm happy with it, growth-wise and everything. Like, I know that what I do isn't really mainstream. So I know that there's some, it's a little different in terms of how you grow and everything. But I'm happy with it. Like, I love it. So I'm going to keep doing it. You guys can't get rid of me yet. And I'm actually my daughter's going to be doing some more streams with me as well. We're probably not going to be doing art streams, but we're going to be doing like music streams with Drop Mix. She's going to be doing that with me some more because we play that in the evenings and she absolutely loves it. Thank you, Prophets. I appreciate it, buddy. We're going to be doing some more Drop Mix streams and doing things like that. And she is having an absolute blast with that. So, let's see here. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, and that's really part of why I do this, is I hope that and somebody out there gets inspired by it, I think that's the greatest gift that we can give is inspiration and try to help other people work toward goals and things like that, because I mean it's really what art's about. I mean, you hope that someone looks at what you do and they go, wow, that's really cool, or I'd love to be able to do something like that, and that's what this is all about. It really is. And that's one of the reasons that I'm really starting to get into animation as well, is I'm trying to learn how to do that, because this is such an easily animatable style type. Well, I don't think easy is right. It animates well. I think it's a better way to say it. It's not that it's easy to animate, but when it's animated, it looks good because of the style of art that it is. You know what I mean? I started in 3D with Blender and had to scale back. So I made a hard decision on that. As much as I want to learn Blender, I'm not, because I feel like I'm good at 2D and I really want to master it, and I really want to get really proficient with the art and really proficient with animating so that I can be really good at this. And then maybe I'll play with some 3D, but I don't want to divide my time too much into like what is 3D and some of that stuff. I really want to try to focus on this, you know what I mean? And it's something that, as a single person, it's easy for me to invest time in, because at the end of the day, I have a wife, I have kids, I have responsibilities, I have a job, so time for me is, limited sometimes. So I really have to focus on one good skill set. So that's kind of what I'm doing when I do all this. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's awesome. We'll do a little boot here, I think. We'll do like a little, let's see here. Got some shoes pulled up as reference. Let's do like a little, I don't know, like a hiking boot, I guess. That would fit the picture, right? Like a hiking shoe or something. Yeah, let's do it. We'll take this and we'll just make like a boot, I think. let's go here. What we'll do is we'll cut this in half. Now, this will allow us to sort of pull this down. Now, not quite that much. That might have been a little drastic. We'll go here. Oh yeah, my grandson's 4 years old. But yeah, and that's what's cool. And see, my daughter loved drawing with me. She gets discouraged easily because she gets upset when she sees Daddy make something and then hers doesn't look as good. And you know, I'm trying to get her to understand that that's okay because we all have to learn. I mean, and that's just the nature of it. You know what I mean? She gets a little discouraged, but we're working through that. And I'm helping her understand that that's okay to get discouraged. It's okay to want to get better, but that's the goal is you got to get better. You know, and don't be upset about that. It's hard when you're a kid, getting a little kid to understand that, though. If they look at something and they're like, well, I want to do that, you know, and then they can't, and they get upset about it. Let's go with like an orange for now. I don't know what color I actually want to do this in. And then we may end up resizing this leg. I don't know for sure yet. Oh yeah, Pencil 2D is amazing. Like, you'd be surprised how many people I recommend that to and they've never heard of it. And then they start using it and they're like, this is incredible. I'm like, yeah, I know, and it's free. And it's such an easy to use program. And they, I was looking at the roadmap for that one. They're actually working on adding more vector functionality. So here soon, it's going to even have more vector usage. They're going to add, like, there's already vector layers, but they're going to add more support for vector layers. So it's actually going to be, you're going to be able to do, from what I understand, some sort of vector animating in there. I don't know all the ins and outs yet, but I know they're working on it, so that's pretty cool. Let's go with this. I'm just sketching this out right now, guys. I don't really know what I'm... Go with more like a brown for now, and then we'll take... I have charcoal pencil hand sketch picture. Yeah! Absolutely, but I'd love to see it. Like, I love all kinds of art. Don't think that because this is what I do, this is the only kind of, like, I love art, period. So, I love looking at art, and I love to see what people are up to. So, if you have something and you want to share it, feel free. Like, I would love to look at it. Yeah. I don't really do traditional anymore. Not that I don't like it. I tend to do mainly digital now. I take things straight digital. But I love traditional art. That's perfect. So let's treat it like this. There we go. Now, let's do something with the soul here. I think we'll go back with this color. And then let's do some little... Let's try to make this look a little bit... I don't know. Let's go like... Let's start with squares. And we'll take the inside and we'll just go really dark with it. Like maybe like this. I'm thinking here. And then we'll just power duplicate this. Is that too many? Nope. If I know what we'll do, we'll just kind of go like this. Now we got a little boot coming along nice here. We'll go like this. Now, let's do some laces. So for the laces, I think what we'll do, kill the stroke. We'll keep the fill though. Alright, Beckus. Thank you, Bart. I appreciate it. Alright, let's do some lines. It's been a really nice day, guys. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been fantastic today. Days like this that really make streaming an enjoyable thing, you know? When you have a good day like that. Okay, let's group this, cut it, and paste it. And we're gonna just flip this thing around and we're just gonna carry it down on the bottom here. Now watch this. Copy. Do you know about Power Duplicate in Affinity? One of my favorite features. If you don't know what Power Duplicate is, you should. If you need an explanation, I'll be glad to explain it. Because it can blow your mind what you can do with power duplicate. Okay, to the back. Okay, so now we're going to take these two, we're going to copy them until we're good with the usage. Now we're going to join them. Then to the back, or we'll go right here in front of the boot. Say, whoops, nope, not inside the boot, in front of the boot. Good. And we're going with this sort of rounded style here, right? Like this is, I'm specifically going this way because it's different, but it's good because I'm sort of exploring with some different ideas and options here. So in case you guys are wondering, see, we could do like little lines and stuff. There you go. This is just random, like, why not, you know? These are the sketches that can really help sort of get you motivated and get you moving, you know? Yeah. My kid's really into Descendants right now. We get to watch Descendants a couple times a week, which is alright the first time you see it, and then you're kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm seeing the Descendants. But she loves it. Now here's where we're going to tie this together. We're going to put a point in the center, we're going to break it, and we're going to delete it. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to start doing some stuff like this. Because I'm hoping this looks cool. I'm thinking it's going to. Yeah, that way it looks like he's sort of hanging on the rope. And then this is easy. We just take this, and we just grab it, and we just give it a slight rotation and tuck it up in there. So like that, see? Then we can take these and move them off to the side with the rest of this. Now, I want this, I think, to be a little different. We're gonna make some changes. I never looked at cartoons and flat characters until I started learning digital art. Yeah, you know, it's funny when you do this enough. This is weird. It's weird you bring that up. I overanalyze everything now. It's so weird when you start looking at this stuff from a how did they do that perspective. You begin to look at cartoons and new stuff and you're like, yeah, how did they animate that? Or how did they draw that? And you really start to look into the how, the who, the why. And then you begin to question things. But I think that's really good because that shows that you're learning and that you want to continue learning, right? Which is very important because then you that's where your growth starts happening. Because you'll go, well, I really like that. How did they do it? And then you'll try to figure it out. Or you'll try to emulate it, you know, in your own situation. And I think that's a really good thing. Alright, Bart. So I want to try to wrap the rope around this leg. Don't know how successful we will be with that, but I have an idea. Let's try to mask this. Go. Copy it, paste it, and send it to the back. There we go. Now, let's try to mask this. How are we going to do this? Let's go 40%. I'm going to try to do another mask. So we'll come right down here. We'll come off to the side. We'll make a shape just like this. Kill the stroke. Again, we'll choose this color. And we're going to mask it. Now, what we're going to do here is... Now we got to play with it. But you can see where the mask is, right? And where it cut right there. So then we've got to figure out that line right in there. I'll pick out one or two shapes and try to create objects with just a simple object to push what I... Right. Yes. Yeah. And see, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's when you really begin to start learning, right? And that's where that growth starts happening. Is when you start looking at things critically and you're like, okay, how do I do that? How do I do this? And then you really begin to grow. And I do that so much now. But I think it's great because it allows me to get better. And I look at things on a very questioning level now. Yep. That's awesome. I feel like that's where we all should be, in that space, you know? Because I have friends as well, like, you know, and it's okay to analyze stuff. I think people get too hung up on the, oh, well, don't steal. It's not, you know, being inspired by something isn't stealing. You know, I think some people are like, oh, we shouldn't copy. And it's like, it's okay to look at something and go, boy, how did they do that? And then try to figure it out for yourself. I think some people get a little too, oh, whoops, I accidentally closed Affinity. My bad. Didn't mean to do that. I went to save and I closed. Exactly, Robert. Exactly. Oh, I didn't save, darn it. I did a force close. I didn't even freaking save it. Wait, and see, I'll take things. I'll take things where I might, like, I've done it before. I've looked at an artist's thing and I've tried to recreate it, but I won't post it and say it's mine. You know, I'll recreate it and then I'll keep it for my own personal growth, right? But I won't necessarily go put it on a store and be like, oh, look what I made, you know? And that's okay. I mean, it's okay to learn from those in front of us. I mean, that's how we learn. That's how we learn. You know, it's okay to look at, if you really like, you know, Sesame Street and you want to make puppets, well, look at how they did it and pay attention. You know? Right. And you'll get there. You'll get there. That's the thing, is like, it just takes a little time, but eventually ideas will just start to just nurture and spawn, and then before you know it, you're just creating stuff. You know what I mean? And that's really what it boils down to. That's what it's done for me anyways. Okay, let's copy this guy. We'll go to the back. We'll come down here with it. That way it looks a little different, and we'll just go darker in the rock. So we'll go more like this. So it looks like he's sort of rappelling down into this little bit of a ravine. Oh, go a little bit smaller. Right about there. And we'll give this a slight spin. Awesome. Good. Now, yeah, I like the general direction of this. I think it's cute. I think it's got some good potential. I think I could do some really fun stuff with this. And this piece has been a little bit more of a, you know, a slow drawing, but it's also sort of a learning piece, which is good. I like it. And of course we could do a little nose if we really wanted to. Do a little shape or a cut shape or whatever. And of course I would shade some of this out. And with the outlines, you don't have to be as strict with the colors. Like, you notice how close these colors are between the rim and the hair, but that's okay because of the outline. But yeah, it works. And we got this here. Cool. So I can mix this stuff up, which is kind of what I wanted to see. I wanted to see how far we could go with mixing things. That's awesome. All right. Let me stretch real quick. Grab a quick snack. It'll take me about 2 minutes. I'll be right back, folks. Alright, there we go. Well, I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm probably going to wrap this up soon, because I got to go get my daughter and stuff, in about 45 minutes, and I got a couple things I need to do before I do that. So I'm gonna have to do that. Hey, Barbarian, how you doing? So I think what we'll do is we'll see if we can't find somebody to rock this nice host onto. Let's see who is around and who we would want to do that on. Thank you, Bacchus. Yeah, pretty cute, pretty cool idea, right? Good to see you two, Prophets. So anyway, before I go, I just want to say thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for thanks for all the support today. Thank you for all the follows. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the host. Thanks for being here. Thanks for just chatting. I really do appreciate it. Support is immense. No, the kitty cat of Sam still has pink. She painted his entire face, Games. She made his face pink and she put like purple eyebrows on him. I gotta clean him, so it's a thing. Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate all the support. Thanks for spending your time with me. We're going to find somebody to drop a host on and go say hi to them for a bit. But thank you. Good to see you, everybody. So have a great day. And I will catch you guys again. There's Odin. He's coming in to say hi. I will see everybody again on Wednesday. If you are around, stop on by. If not, I'll see you next time I see you. So take care. Be safe. Bye.